Hello everyone, I am Jyotiprakash. I welcome all of you to SSC Mock channel. Today in this lecture, as you all can see, we will be learning about permutation and combination and probability. Guys, you know in your CGL and tier 2 examination and CHSL tier 2 examination, on an average 2 questions are coming from this chapter, and these 2 questions can fetch you 6 marks in your final selection. And trust me, once you complete this video, you will be able to clearly attempt each and every questions with 100% accuracy from probability and permutation combination. And one more thing guys, in probability 90+% questions can be solved only through permutation and combination. That's why understanding each and every concepts of permutation and combination is really important, and that's why I have included it in this particular video. Let's see what you all be learning. See guys, in permutation and combination we'll be discussing about all the basic concepts, then we'll discuss all the permutation concepts, setting concepts, selection concepts, and triangle and diagonal concepts, plus one more concept is there, handshake concept. Okay, and in probability we'll be learning basics of probability, coins, dice concepts, balls, replacement, card, Venn diagram, and binomial probability. I will be sharing a timestamp with you all guys, so that if you are watching this lecture in parts, you can directly come to that point and you can start your lecture without wasting much more time. So let's start with permutation and combination guys, and I would suggest you to take pen and paper and start solving questions with me. I will be giving homeworks along with this question. So as long as you are learning through this video and doing the exercise that I am giving, your conceptual clarity will be much more stronger. You will be able to questions without any hesitation, without wasting much time, and solve each and every question within 30 seconds, particularly from permutation and combination and probability. So let's start guys. So first thing we'll be learning is about permutation and combination. Guys, this has been a very important part of our life. We haven't acknowledged that, but yes, whatever the choices we make, whatever the decisions we make, we do those all things through permutation and combination. Everything we do, but we all are not aware of this fact that this is what that can be formed a question in our SSC CGL exam or CHSL exam. So permutation is basically about arrangement, and that arrangement is how orderly manner. So we understand two things. We understand first arrangement, then second is order. So whenever we will be solving a questions, whether it is about permutation or combination, we need to figure out two things. First, whether there is a selection, or I can say the selection of or the choice, and is that choice has an order associated with it. Is that arrangement or the selection or arrangement has an order associated with it? If there is an order associated with it, we'll be using permutation. Okay, so before understanding permutation, there is a basic mathematical concept associated with it, that is known as factorial. So factorial is written as, for an example, n is a number, then I can write n factorial is like this, or n factorial is, that means this. So n factorial means multiplication of each number starting from 1 till n. So if I have to calculate 3 factorial, I can write 1, 2, 3. If I have to calculate 5 factorial, I have to calculate from multiplication from 1 to 5. If I have to calculate 10 factorial, I have to write multiplication from 1, 2, 3, 4, multiplied by 5, multiplied by 6, multiplied by 7, multiplied by 8, multiplied by 9, multiplied by 10. Now, this is the basics of factorial. Now, this factorial can be written in different formats. For an example, 5 factorial. So 5 factorial has multiplication till 3, right? 1, 2, 3. So I can write 5 factorial as 3 factorial multiply by 4 and 5, or I can write 4 factorial multiply by 5, because 4 factorial means multiplication from 1 to 4, then it is multiplied by 5. So I can write 5 factorial either in this format, or in this format, or in this format, or in 2 factorial multiplied by 3 into 4 into 5. So why I am telling you this? Because whatever when we'll be solving permutation, this concepts is required. This concepts is required. That's why I'm saying this. But before we move with the concepts, let's understand two principles: principle of OR and principle of AND. These two principles is really essential. Once you have the clarity when to use principle of OR, principle of AND, 70% of whole permutation and combination is done. So principle of OR, this means either this or that. Either you choose one or you choose two. For an example, in order to solve previous year questions of math, you have 5 books: book 1, book 2, book 3, book 4, book 5. How many options are there? 5 options are there. So if you have to select only one book, how many ways you can do it? You can do it in this way, or this way, or this way, or this way, or this way. So in total, in 5 ways we can select the best book for you in terms of mathematics. Same as, for an example, you will get selected. You have to go to office and you have, for an example, 5 pairs of socks for each day. So how many options you will have? You will have 5 options. Okay. Now, in principle of OR, we need to understand two things. First thing, that number of choices. Second, are these choices independent of each other? For an example, in the first case, if you solve book 1, the same question is repeated in book 2, then in book 3, in book 4 and book 5, right? So if you solve book 1, you don't need all the other 4 books. Or if you solve bit 2, you don't need other 4 books. So all these choices are independent. That's why you used principle of OR. Same in terms of socks. If you use one socks, you don't need other 4 socks, right? So whenever you have certain number of choices or certain number of options, and those options are independent of each other, that those options do not have anything to do with each other, then you simply add those options and will get your final answer. Let's understand it through a question. So there are 5 red bags, 8 blue bags, 6 brown bags and 3 green bags. Now the question is, in how many ways can the model select the best bag for her? So how many bags are there? 5 red bags, or she can take 8 blue bags, or 6 brown bags, or 3 green bags. So in how many ways he can select? He can go for 5 red or 8 blue or 6 brown or 3 green. So in total he can go 6 plus 3 equal to 9 plus 8 17 plus 5 equal to 22. So in 22 ways C can select any bag, because 5 red bag has nothing to do with 8 blue bags. 8 blue bags has nothing to do with 6 brown bags. And 6 brown bags has nothing to do with 3 green bags. These choices are independent of each other. That's why we have added these choices. But if the choices are dependent of each other, what will happen? If the choices are dependent of each other, that means you need this and this. That means these are dependent. Then you will utilize this function AND. AND means, for an example, for math, you are weak in math, and to ensure that in CGL 2025 or for CGL 2024 mains examination, you have to find out the best teacher for yourself. So what you will find out? the best teacher for yourself. Also, you need to find the best book for yourself so that you can learn concepts from the teacher and solve PYQs from the book, and that will help you strengthen your mathematical ability. That will help you ensure that you are scoring 90 out of 19 and getting your dream post in CGL 2024 examination. So let's understand this. Now teacher, there are three options of teacher: teacher 1, teacher 2 and teacher 3. And for PYQ books, there are 5 options. So let's take 4 options: book 1, book 2, book 3, book 4. How many ways you can select a combination of teacher and books? So you can say, sir, I can do teacher 1 or book 1, teacher 1 or book 2, teacher 1 or book 3, teacher 1 or book 4. Someone will come and say, no sir, I will go for teacher 2, book 1, teacher 2, book 2, teacher 2, book 3, teacher 2, book 4. Someone else can predict teacher 3, book 1, teacher 3, book 2, teacher 3, book 3, teacher 3, book 4. So in how many ways they can make the selection? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So that can be happened in 12 options, 12 ways they can make the selection. Or someone like you who has already watched my lectures, they know the crux. They will come, they'll say, sir, for teacher I have 3 options. For books I have 4 options. So what I can do, I will simply multiply 3 into 4. I'll get my answer that in 12 ways they can make the arrangement. So principle of AND say, first thing you will do, you will see if the choices are dependent, then you will multiply those simply. Multiply those options simply. So in this case, and in principle of OR, what we say? In principle of OR, if the choices are independent, we have to add it. If the choices are dependent, we have to multiply it. Let's solve a question. See, here it is saying there are 6 trains between Delhi to Mumbai. So Delhi to Mumbai, 6 trains are there. From Mumbai to Bangalore, 5 trains are there. 5 trains are there from Mumbai to Bangalore. Now how many ways can a person travel to Bangalore by train? So he has to move through, or she has to move through Mumbai, right? So someone will come, say, sir, train are A1, A2, these are the trains. A3, A4, A5, A6 till Mumbai. Second train from Mumbai to Bangalore is B1, B2, B3, B4, B5. So if someone has not watched my lecture and he does not or she does not understand how to calculate this whole thing, what he will she will start with, so let's the combination will be A1 B1, A1 B2, A1 B3, A1 B4. Like this he will start solving this question, and he will waste or she will waste 2 minutes in this question, and finally he will find out the answer. Or someone will come after watching my lecture, he will say, sir, there are 6 trains available from Delhi to Mumbai. From Mumbai to Bangalore there are 5 trains. So in total I can say 30 ways. In 30 ways I can directly move from Delhi to Bangalore through Mumbai in 30 ways, because I can select 6 trains in 6 different ways, 5 trains in 5 different ways. So in 30 ways, total in 30 ways I can select a train to travel from Mumbai to Bangalore. Clear? So this is how principle of AND will work. Now let's solve one more question, and it's a trickier question. See, there are 6 trains running between Delhi to Mumbai. That's good. In how many ways can a person travel to Mumbai and return back to Delhi by different train? So this question says, if you are taking train 1 while traveling from Delhi to Mumbai, you should not take, or you can't take the same train while traveling back to Delhi. So while traveling to Mumbai, you have 6 train options. But while traveling to Delhi, you don't have 6 train options, because if you have already utilized one option, you are left with only 5 trains. You are getting my point. For an example, from Delhi to Mumbai, there are 6 trains: D1, D2, D3, D4, D5, D6. In between Delhi, Mumbai, there are 6 trains. If you use D1, then you can't use D1 while returning back from Mumbai to Delhi. So while going from Delhi to Mumbai, there were 6 trains. But now, as you have already moved, taken the train D1, now how many trains are left? 5 trains are left. So if I have to calculate in how many ways I can travel to Mumbai and return back to Delhi by a different train, I can see, sir, 6 multiplied by 5 is equal to 30. So in 30 different ways, I can travel to Mumbai, then get back to Delhi by a different train. Okay, I hope this is clear to each and every one of you. This was very simple and I hope you have clarity about this. Now, in basics of permutation, the formula that will be used in permutation is NPR. N means number of options or number of objects you have. R means number of choices you will make, available options. And if I'll solve it, it will be like n factorial minus n minus r factorial. So for an example, 5p3 is given. So out of 5 students, I have to select, for an example, out of 5 train, I have to select 3 train. I'll write it 5p3, 5 factorial by 5 minus 3 factorial. This is equal to 5 factorial divided by 5 minus 3 is equal to 2 factorial. As I have already said, 5 factorial can be written as 2 factorial multiplied by 3 into 4 into 5 divided by 2 factorial. So 2 factorial will cross out. The answer will be 3 into 4 equal to 12 into 5 equal to 60. So 5p3 is equal to 60. Like this, you will be solving each and every question. So before we solve all this question, let me share few things. So NPR, you got the idea that n factorial by n minus r factorial. N factorial means multiplication from 1 to 3 till n minus 2 multiplied by n minus 1 multiplied by n. Okay. 0 factorial means 1. 1 factorial means 1. 2 factorial means 1 into 2 is equal to 2. 3 factorial means 1 into 2 into 3 is equal to 6. Like that. Okay. Now, few things. Whenever you will see any selection or anything as NPN, that can be written as n factorial by n minus n factorial is equal to n factorial divided by 0 factorial. 0 factorial is 1, so n factorial by 1, or I can write it n factorial, or I can write it simply n factorial. So NPN, if I have to, for an example, I have 5 options and I have 5 trends and I can select 5 trends out of it. I can write it 5p5. So without solving it like this, 5 factorial divided by 5 minus 5 factorial is equal to 5 factorial divided by 0 factorial is equal to 5 factorial. I should directly jump to 5 factorial because it is in NPN form. Okay. So that's what I want to tell you. So whenever we'll be solving some question, you need to understand if the whole question is in this format, we'll be solving it in this way. Okay. Now let's move to our concept. So here the question asked that how many 3 digits number can be formed with how many digits? 3 digits. So first thing, let's understand the manual work. What the students who have not watched my lecture will do. So they will say, sir, I have 3 digits. So I have to create 3 digit number. So, and without repeating this number. So I will write 456, 465, 546, 564. Wow. 645, 654, So total 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I can create 6 digits. So these are less digits available. So you created this. But if the question is a bit complex or calculative, you can't write down all the numbers. You can't take list out all the numbers. Then you count. Then you will count. Then you will take the answer. It will take a lot of time. So my students, they should do what? They should apply the formula NPR. N means number of options available. How many options available? 3. Now, how many choices I have to make? 3 digits number. So I will be saying 3. So 3P3 is equal to what? 3 factorial, as I have already said. So 3 factorial is nothing but 3 into 2 into 1 is equal to 6. So in how many digits you can write? 6 factorial. So my student will simply write, sir, 3P3, it's 6, 3 factorial is 6. Done. You don't have to list it out. Even if it is, if it is given that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 digits are there and you have to create 9 digits number. How many 9 digits number you can create out of these digits? If you start writing these digits, it will take at least 1 year to solve this question. But you don't have 1 year in the examination hall. You have only 1 minute for this type of questions or 30 seconds for this type of question. So we will directly write down 9P9 is equal to 9 factorial, sir. You will select this option. You will get 3 number. You are ahead of 50,000 students because they will be writing down all these things because they don't know the tricks. They haven't watched our lecture. So this is why you need to understand the word, how factorials play out, then how the formulas play out. Okay, let's solve one more question. This is your homework. How many 3 digits number? How many 3 digits number can be formed from these digits? So number of option I have 4. Choices I have to make 3. Out of 4 numbers I have to take 3 numbers. 4 factorial divided by 4 minus 3 factorial. 4 factorial divided by 1 factorial. We all know 1 factorial is equal to 1. So it is 4 factorial. That is nothing but 1 multiplied by 2 multiplied by 3 into 4. So this is 24. So how many digits you can create? You can create 24 digits. You don't have to list out 24 digits. Simply use this formula and get your answer. Okay. Now let's move to the next question. Now it has said how many 3 digits number can be formed with digits 3 digits 4, 5, 6. Repetition is allowed. When repetition is allowed, you should approach this question like this. You have 3 digits. This is your unit digit place. This is your 10th place. This is your 100th place. How many options are there? 4 options. 3 options are there. How many digits you have to prepare? 3. So in the first place, I can choose any digit out of 3. But here it has said repetition is allowed. That means the same digit that has been used here, that can be used here and at unit digit place as well. So at 10th place, I can write 3. And unit place I can write 3. So I can say I can create 27. 3 into 3 into 3. Total 27 digits. Sorry, 27 numbers. With the help of this digit, I can create 27 3-digit number with these digits. But if you are my student, you will say, sir, say something that is quite easy to remember. Say something that is quite easy to remember. So my student will do what? If this type of questions is there and repetition is allowed, they will say, sir, formula will be n to the power n, where n is equal to number of options available, m is equal to number of choices you have to make. So here number of option, 3 options available, number of choices was 3. Directly 3 to the 3 cube is equal to 27. For example, it was given 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 digits are there and you have to create 3-digit number. You will directly said you have 7 options. You have to create a 3-digit number. So it will be 343. How many numbers you will create? You will create 343 numbers, 3-digit numbers. Okay. So this is the formula. If digits have been given and repetition is allowed. Okay. I hope you are clear with this. This is a homework. The first homework I am giving you all. Quite easy. I have already solved it. Now, here is the catch. What is the catch? It is saying, sir, how many 4 digits number can be formed? How many 4-digit numbers can be formed with the digits 0, 4, 5, 6, 7? Now, first conceptual clarity you should have. If it is a 4-digit number, if you place 0 over here, then this will automatically be a 3-digit number. So, if you have to create a 4-digit number, okay, this is the unit place, this is the 10th place, this is the 100th place, and this is the 1000th place. You can't put 0 here. So, how many digits you are left with? You are left with 4 digits. For an example, you have already utilized 1 digit. How many digits you are left with? 3. But now you can use 0 over here. So actually you are left with 4 digits for 100 place. Now for 10 place, now you have utilized 1 more digit for an example. Now for 10th place, how many options you are left with? You are left with 3 options. Now you have utilized 1 more option. Now for unit digit, how many options you are left with? You are left with 2 options. So in total, in how many digits you can form? 4 into 4 multiply by 3 multiply by 2 is equal to 4 into 4 16 plus 3 equal to 48, 2 equal to 96. So 96 digits can be formed. 96 digits can be formed from 0, 4, 5, 6, 7. I hope this is clear to each and every one of you. Let's say there is no repetition in this. But if there is a repetition, how do you solve it? So in this question, how do you solve it? You can't put 0 over here. So this will be, this is the 4-digit number 1, 2, 3, 4. So at the 1000th place, there can be 4 digits used. But in 100 place, all 5 can be used. Because repetition is allowed, same number can be used. In 10th place, all 5 numbers can be used. In unit digit, all 5 numbers can be used. Now, because repetition is there, if you use 4 here, you can use 4, 4, 4 also here. So all digits can be repeated itself until except 0. Because if we put 0 over here, the whole thing will be a 3-digit number. That's why your total number of digits will be formed 5 into 5 equal to 25 multiplied by 5 equal to 125. 125 multiplied by 4 equal to 500 numbers can be formed. 4-digit numbers can be formed with these questions. See, you can't always find out tricks for everything. This is a tricks. Okay. Now, this is a tricky question. It's different. It has 2 clauses. First clause is you have to create 4-digit number and that number should be greater than 5000. Now, I have a 4-digit number, first, second, third, 4 unit digit, 10th place, 100 place, 1000 place. You don't have to write down this. This whole thing is, I am writing down this whole thing for your conceptual clarity. Whenever you will be solving, you should directly start from this step. So here, if a number is more than 5000, I can only use these digits, right? Because if I write 4000 here, if all the numbers, whatever I put in the, if I start with 4 something, this number is less than 5000. So I can't write 0 and 4 here. So how many digits I have left with? I have left with 3 digits. Now for an example, you have used 1 digit. So how many digits you are left with for 100 place? Now you are left with 4 digits. Now, one more digits has been used. How many digits you are left with? You are left with 3 digits. Then one more is used, you are left with 2 digits. So now if I have to calculate how many numbers you are created which are greater than 5000 and 4 digits in number, you can say, sir, 3 into 4 equal to 12, into 3 equal to 36, into 2 equal to 72. So I have created, or I can create 72 4 digits number greater than 5000 with the help of 0, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay. Now, this is an easy question for all of you. You can solve it. Repetition is not allowed and divisible by 5. Now, first thing you need to understand, divisible by 5 rule. So unit digit should be 5 or 0. Unit digit should be 5 or 0. So we'll take two cases. First case, 4 digit number. Here 5 has been used. So one way. Now 5 has been used in this case. Now let's see, there are 4 options, but in the thousands place you can't use 0. So you can use only 3 digit. Now you have utilized 1 digit. How many digits you are left with? You are left with 3 digits. Now you have utilized 1 more digit. So you are left with 2 digits. So how many number of ways in which 5 is at the unit digit? 3 into 3. How many numbers you have created? You have created 3 into 3, 9 into 2, 18 numbers with 5 as their unit digit. Now in the second case, we have to create a number with 0 as their unit digit, because that's how a number will be divided by 5. So here 0 will be used. Okay. So in this case 0 will be used. So how many numbers are left? 4. Now you have used 1 more digit. So how many numbers are left? 3. These 3 numbers can be used to fill up this 100 digit. So now 1 digit is used. How many digits are left? So now here 2 digits are left. Now you can say you can create numbers 4 into 3 equal to 12, into 2 equal to 24. You can create 24 numbers with 0 as their unit digit with the help of all these numbers. Now it has asked the total numbers. So numbers with 5 as their unit digit, numbers with 0 as their unit digit, and these numbers are independent of each other. They have nothing in common. So I can say total 42 numbers can be formed. 42 numbers can be formed with these digits, which are divisible by I. I hope this is clear to each and every one of you. So if this type of question will come, you should not panic. You should use this method and you can calculate the answer within 30 seconds. Just because I am trying to help you understand the concept, that's why I'm taking a bit longer time, but this can be solved within 30 seconds. Okay. Now this is a homework. This is quite easy. You have to figure out a few things and you will be able to solve it. Now here it is asked, how many different ways can the number 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 be arranged using each digit only once? That means repetition is not allowed, such that the digits 6 and 5 are the extreme ends. So this is a 6 digit figure. I can write 6, 5 in the extreme end, or in the next case I can write here like this. So 6 or 5 can be arranged in 2 ways. Either I can write it in this way or in this way. Now I am done with 6 and 5. How many digits I am left with? 4. How many places I am left with? 4. 4p4. What I have told you? 4 factorial. So 2 into 4 factorial is equal to 1 into 2 into 3 into 4, which in return will come to 2 into 1 2, 2 2s are 4, 4 3s are 12, 12 4s are 48. So in 48 ways you can arrange 6 and 5. See, you need to understand why I took 2, because 6 can be at the left hand, extreme left hand, and 6 can be put at the extreme right hand. So this was two arrangements. So first arrangement was 2. Now all these things are interdependent. The number will be formed is depending on 6 or 5's position as well. That's why I am using principle of AND here, because these numbers are dependent, these digits are dependent of each other. So in 48 ways you can arrange this letter. In 48 ways you can arrange this letter. This is a homework for all of you guys. Quite easy. I have already solved this. You will simply put the number and you are done with it. Now, how many 3-letter words with or without meaning can be formed from the word inspector? See, no more manual or no more gadha majuri. You simply use your brain, that there are options 3, 3 6, 3 9. So you have 9 options. You have to select 3 letter. 9 factorial divided by 9 minus 3 factorial is equal to 9 factorial by 6 factorial. As I have already told you, I can write 9 factorial as 6 factorial multiplied by 7 multiplied by 8 multiplied by 9 divided by 6 factorial. So I can cross out 6 factorial. So this will be 9 into 8 is equal to 72. 72 multiplied by 7 is equal to 504. So in you can create 504 3-letter words with or without meaning by using all letters of inspector. Okay. So this is how you should be solving this question. Now next question. This is the same question. Leave it. So how many words with or without meaning can be formed from the word monk? Options 4. Is there any choices or letters given? No, but here it is written by using all the letters exactly once. That means you have to utilize all letters. So you will be creating 4-letter word. So out of 4 option, we will be creating 4-letter word. That will come to 4 factorial. 4p4 ncn is equal to n factorial. That is 4 into 3 into 2 into 1 is equal to 24. You can create 24 words with meaning. Okay. So this is the homework for you. By using all letters exactly once. Okay. Now, how many different ways can the letters of the word selection be arranged? Now see, here in these questions, there was no repetition. No letter was repeated here. That's why you simply use this formula. But here, in this option, there is a repetition of E. So how will we solving this? First thing is, we'll be solving it like this. How many letters here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So this can be arranged in 9 factorial. 9p9 is equal to 9 factorial divided by the number of letters which are alike in nature. That means E is alike in nature, and how many times E is there? In 2 times. So it will be divided by 2 factorial. The formula will be like 9 n factorial divided by p factorial, q factorial, r factorial. P, q, r is what? These are the number of letters or objects alike in nature or same in nature. Here E was same, that's why we used this. For an example, a word was like rumor. How many letters there? 6 letters. So 6 letters can be arranged in 6 factorial. 6p6, 6 factorial. Now U is here available here in twice, R available here twice. So you will write 2 factorial divided by 2 factorial. How many letters has repeated itself n number of times? You have to write it down. Okay, that's the formula. For an example, this is a classic example that has been asked so many times, that is assassination. How many letter words? 336, 39, 312, 13. So this can be arranged in 13p3, 13 in 13 factorial, but A has repeated itself 3 times, so 3 factorial. S has repeated itself 4 times, so it will be 4 factorial. N has repeated itself twice, so it will be 2 factorial. Then I comes twice, so it will be 2 factorial. So you can see the answer is this. So this is how, in how many different ways you can arrange the letter of the word assassination, of the word rumor, of the word selection. I hope this is clear to each and every individual. You need to understand the formula here, n factorial by p factorial multiplied by q factorial multiplied by r factorial, where p, q, r are number of letters or objects which are alike or same in nature. Okay. Next question. This is homework for you. Quite easy. Only two letters have repeated itself, so you will be able to solve it. Now, in how many different ways can the letters of the word section be arranged such that vowels must occupy odd places? How many letters are there? 3, 3, 6, 6, 7. So first, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, 7 places are there. And out of these 7 places, odd number of odd places are there. Now you have 7 places, but how many vowels are there? Vowels are 1. How many vowels are there? E, I, O. 3 vowels are there. So this is the letter you will be formulating or creating. Okay, these are the places. So first place, third place, and 5th place and 7th place. In these places, these vowels can be adjusted, right? So for the first place, I can say out of the 3, I can select any one. So 1 is used. Now for the third place, I'm only left with 2 vowels. Now for the 5th place, I will be left with only 1 vowel. So after that, there is no vowel. So 7th place can be filled with the remaining consonants. Okay, so we're done. So the vowels can be arranged in 3 factorial. Now the consonants, the remaining letters. How many remaining letters? 4. So for the second place, I can use 4 letters, any one of 4 letters. Now 1 letter is used, so I'm left with how many letters? I'm left with 3 letters. Now for 4th place, I can use 3 letters. There are 4 consonants, S, C, T, N. So if for second place, I have 4 letters, right? Now if I use 1 letter, how many letters I am left with? I am left with 3 letters. So at 4th place, I can use 3 letter. Now I have used 1 more letter. How many letters I am left with? I am left with 2 letters. So at the 6th place, I can use 2 letter. Now at the 7th place, I can use 1 letter. So I can say I can use the consonants, or I can place the consonant in 4 factorial. 4 into 3 into 2 into 1, that means 4 factorial. So in how many different ways can the letters be arranged such that vowels must occupy odd places? Is 3 factorial multiplied by 4 factorial. I hope this is clear to each and every one of you. This is clear to each and every one of you. So whenever you are given with such type of questions, you need to understand what number of vowels, their arrangement, multiplied by number of consonants, their arrangements. Okay. here. These are classic sitting arrangement. These concepts are sitting concepts. Okay. So here it has been written 6 boys and 3 girls are sitting in a row of 9 set. So there are 9 seats for 6 boys and 3 girls. But the question asked was how many ways can they be seated so that all girls will sit together? In this type of question, if all girls sit together, you have to consider them as one, first thing, plus 6 boys. Now you have to arrange this first. So 6 boys into all girls is 1. 7 people at 7 places, that means 7 factorial. Now 3 girls, they are sitting together but they can be arranged in like this. For first place 3 girls can be available. For second place 1 girl has already got the seat, so 2 girls are available, and for last set only 1 girl is available. That means in 3 factorial way I can arrange the girls. So first arrangement was 7 factorial multiplied by 3 factorial. Why multiplication is there? Because these girls are these girls are dependent or related to this whole arrangement. That's why multiplication is there. So the whole, how many ways I can arrange? I can arrange 6 boys and 3 girls with girls sitting together in 7 factorial to 3 factorial ways. I hope this question is clearing you a very important concept that mostly or mainly asked in CGL examinations. This is a homework, guys. We can solve it. It is quite easy. Now, in the previous question, we are solving that girls will sit together. Now, girls are not sitting together. What I can do? I can calculate in how many ways all the students can sit together. If I deduct the number of ways girl will sit together out of the total number of ways they will sit. If I deduct the number of ways girls will sit together from total number of sitting arrangement, I can find out girls will not sit together. Are you guys getting this point? For an example, there are 10 students and there are 6 chocolates. So how many, and each chocolate will be given to only one student. Okay. So I can say how many ways, how many students will get the chocolate? That is 6. How many students are there? That are 10. Okay. If I will ask how many students didn't get any chocolate, what you will do? You will 10 minus 6. That is 4. Like this, if the total sitting is, for an example, X, and the total number of arrangement in which girls will sit together is Y, if I deduct this, I will find out the number of arrangement in which girls will not sit together. I hope now this is clear to each and every one of you. So let's understand how many ways the total arrangement of 9 sets can be done. So there are 9 students, 6 boys and 3 girls. They can be arranged in 9 sets. So this is 9 factorial. Okay. Now girls will sit together. We got the idea 7 factorial into 3 factorial from this previous question. We found out this answer. The girls will sit together in 7 factorial into 3 factorial ways. So girls will sit together in this way. So the number of ways girls will not sit together is equal to 9 factorial minus 7 factorial into 3 factorial. This is the answer of this question. I hope this is clear to each and every one of you now. See, the concept will remain changed. Here, instead of boys and girls, they can use anything else. And they can ask the question. So you need to grab the concept. You need to have the conceptual clarity so that you can solve each and every question. Okay. Now, this is a homework I have given to you. You need to solve it. Same as the previous question. Ditto. Now, 5 boys, 4 girls are to be seated in a row such that no two boys sit adjacent to each other. That means no two boys. That means no two boys will sit side by side. So what I can do? I can put one boy, then a girl, then a 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 boy. So I have 4 position for 4 girl, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5 position for 5 girl, 5 boys. So this will be 4 factorial into 5 factorial. NCN formula has been used. NPN formula has been used. So 4 factorial into 5 factorial is the number of ways I can arrange 5 boys and 4 girls in a row such that no two boys will sit together, because one boy will be here, one boy will be here, one boy will be here, one boy will be here. Okay. I hope this is clear to all. Now let's twist this question a bit and solve this. Here 4 boys and 5 girls are to be seated in a row such that no boys sit adjacent to each other. So start with boy, then girl, boy, then girl, boy, then girl, then boy comes, then girl comes, then boy comes, then girl comes, then boy comes. Okay. So 5 positions for 5 girls. Now how many positions are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So you have 6 positions for how many boys? 4 boys. In the previous case, you were left with, see, in this question, you are left with 5 positions for 5 boys. But in this case, you are left with 6 positions for 4 boys. So you have to solve accordingly. So 5p5 is equal to 5 factorial multiplied by 6 factorial, my 6 minus 4 factorial, that is 5 factorial multiplied by 6 factorial divided by 2 factorial. This is your answer to how many ways can 4 boys and 5 girls to be seated in a row such that 2 boys won't sit adjacent to each other. I hope this is clear to each and every one of you. This type of question will come. Okay. They simply change the number or the name and they will ask the question, but this type of questions most of the time comes in our CGL and CHSL tier 2 examinations. Now basics of combination. We are done with what? Permutation, basics of permutation, setting arrangement. Now let's understand what is combination. Combination means the selection or the choice will be there without any particular order. There is no order to this. You can select randomly. Okay. And the formula for combination is NCR. N is equal to number of options available. R is equal to number of choice or selection can be made. Out of n. Okay. And if I solve this NCR, I can write it like this: n factorial divided by n minus r factorial multiplied by r factorial. In NPR it was n factorial divided by n minus r factorial multiplied by r, only n minus r factorial. Okay. So I can see NCR is equal to NPR divided by r factorial. First thing. Okay. Now the second thing you all need to understand is that NCR is equal to NCN minus R. How? For an example, 5C3. Out of 5 we are selecting 3 guys. The answer will get same as 5C2. N minus 3 is equal to 2. N minus R is 2. 5C3 is equal to 5 factorial divided by 5 minus 3 factorial multiplied by 3 factorial. Here 5c2 is equal to 5 factorial divided by 5 minus 2 factorial multiplied by 2 factorial. So here 5 factorial divided by 5 minus 3 is equal to 2 factorial multiplied by 3 factorial. Here in the numerator it is 5 factorial. In the denominator is 5 minus 2 is equal to 3 factorial multiplied by 2 factorial. So both these answers are same. That's why you need to understand the second concept, NCR is equal to NCN minus R. Let me erase it for all your clarity. I proved this theorem. This is quite common and this may be asked in terms of simplification or something like that. So you need to understand these concepts clearly. Okay. Now third concept that we'll be learning, that NCX. If NCX is equal to NCY, that means x plus y is equal to n. Like the previous question, 5c3 is equal to 5c2, and we know here x is 3, y is 2, so 3 plus 2 is equal to 5, so x plus y is equal to 9. So the third formula is NCX is equal to NCY. So you need to understand this question. Now here you need to understand this. If you have to make total number of selection, if you have to make total number of selection of 0 or more things, if you are selecting, for an example, you have 10 options, you can select at least one or at least 2, 3, whatever it is, at least one candidate should be selected. You can either write it like this, NC1, NC2. For an example, let's understand it through an example. If you have 10 candidates for an interview, but you have to select at least one candidate, how many ways you can select it? You can select 10C1 or 10C2, at least one. At least means this is the least number. You can go to the highest as well. So 10C2 or 10C3 or 10C4 or 10C5 or 10C6 or 10C7, 10C8 or 10C9 or 10C10. Okay, so whenever you will see, at least you should start with 10C1 till 10C10, or you can say NC1 to NCN. Now here OR is there, that means these all things will be added. So NC1 plus NC2 plus NCN whenever selection from at least is given to you. Okay, I hope this is clear now. Okay, now the questions. A company has 10 male employees and 5 female employees. In how many ways can one employee be selected for the best employee of the year award? How many options are there? 10 male and 5 female. So total 15 employees are there. I have to select only one. So 15 factorial divided by 15 minus 1 factorial multiplied by 1 factorial, because formula of NCR is equal to n factorial divided by n minus r factorial multiplied by r factorial. Now if I solve it, 15 factorial divided by 14 factorial multiplied by 1 factorial is equal to 1. 15 factorial can be written as 14 factorial multiplied by 15 divided by 14 factorial. Okay, now 14 factorial cross out. So in 15 different ways, we can select the best employee of the year award out of 10 male employees and 5 female employees. Okay, so I hope this is clear to each and every one of you. Okay, now here you need to understand one thing. Whenever you are given with NC1, your answer will always n. You see from this, or NC or NC n minus 1. Your answer will always n. You need to remember this. Most important. You can solve it and you can get that answer, but you need to remember this, and you will gradually remember this. You don't have to be hard on yourself. This is quite easy. You will simply understand each and everything gradually when you will be solving each and every question. Now, next question. In how many ways can a group of 5 boys and 3 girls can be made out of 10 boys and 5 girls? So I have 10 boys, I have to select 5, then I have 5 girls, I have to select 3 girls. So 10 factorial divided by 10 minus 5 factorial multiplied by 5 factorial multiplied by 5 factorial divided by 5 minus 3 factorial into 3 factorial. If I solve it, I'll get 10 factorial divided by 5 factorial into 5 factorial multiplied by 5 factorial into 2 factorial into 3 factorial. 5 cross out. If you solve the whole question, you will get the answer. Most of the time you will get your answer like this: 10 factorial divided by 2 factorial into 3 factorial into 5 factorial. You will get your answer like this. Okay, I hope this was quite easy. You need to understand that the number of options you had and the number of selection you need to make out of that. Now this is a question. A question paper has 2 parts, A and B, each containing 20 questions. Number of options available 20. If a student need to choose 15 from part A and 18 from part B, how does he do it? NCR. You will simply use that formula. Now, a group of 4 members to be formed out of 5 boys and 4 girls. In how many ways can be formed? How many ways group can be formed so as to include at least one girl? Now, when I said at least one girl, that means how this can be proceeded. First case will be 1 girl and 4 members, 3 boys. Second case will be 2 girl and 2 boys. Third case will be 3 girl and 1 boy. And fourth case can be 4 girls. Because there is no such condition that at least one boy should be there, but the condition was at least one girl should be there. So for these particular scenarios, I can write out of 4 girls I have to select 1, out of 5 boys I have to select 3. For the second case, out of 4 girls I have to select 2, out of 5 boys I have to select 2. For the third case, I have to select out 3 girls out of 4 and 1 boy out of 5, and the last case 4C4. Now if I add all these things, because all these events or all these cases are independent of each other, if I add these things, I will find out the ways in which all this group can be formed with 4 members, in which at least one girl will be included. I hope this is clear to each and every one of you. See, this question, this particular at least type will be there in probability, and that particular type has been asked various times in CGL and CHSL examination, and you need to understand this concept. Once you are clear about this concept, you can easily solve the probability questions through it. Okay. Now the next question: a group of 4 members to be formed out of 5 boys and 3 girls. In how many different ways can the group can be formed so as to include at least one girl? Here there are 4 girls, here there are 3 girls. So that cases will be: first case 1 girl and 3 boys, second case 2 girl and 2 boys, third case will be 3 girls and 1 boy, because the maximum number of girls present are 3. So with these 3 scenarios you can solve this question. So I can write out of 3 girls I have to select 1, out of 5 boys I have to select 3 boys for the first scenario, plus for the second scenario out of 3 girls I have to select 2, out of 5 boys I have to select 2. For the third scenario, I can say from 3 girls I can select 3, and from 5 boys I should select 1 in order to fulfill the conditions of this question. So this is the ways through which I can create a group of 4 members in which at least one girl is present. Okay. Now the next question. So this is for you. Okay. So it's asking what? It is saying that group of 4 members to be formed in which no girls, without any girl. So I can see simply write 5 boys. Out of 5 boys I have to select 4. N C n minus 1 is equal to n. So how many ways I can write? In 5 different ways I can create a group in which there is no girl present. Now how many 4 members? This is a bit trickier. Now understand. A group of 4 members to be formed out of 5 boys and 3 girls. You have to select a group of 4, but that group should not have any boys, means the all 4 members should be girls. Unfortunately I have only 3 girls. Can I form a group of 4 girls with only 3 girls? No, it cannot be formed. This group cannot be formed. You need to understand this. So these are type of things which requires your general general knowledge, or your sense, and with this kind of sense you can easily answer this question without solving answers, questions and all. Okay, simply use your brain. Now next question, this is a bit trickier. In how many different pairs can be formed using numbers 1 to 10 such that x is less than y and the sum of x and y is even? So there are two conditions. First condition should be the first number should be less than the second number, and the sum of first number and second number should be even. So for this we know, if we add two odd numbers, that will result into even number, or if we add two even number, that will result in even number. So if I have to write down the pair first, I can write down like this: 1 2, 1 3, 1 4, 1 5, 1 6, 1 7, 1 8, 1 9, 1 10. For 2, 2 should be less than y, so 2 3. It can't be 2 2 because they are equal. 2 4, 2 5, 2 6, 2 7, 2 8, 2 9, 2 10. For 3 it should be 3 4, 3 5, 3 6, 3 7, 3 8, 3 9, 3 10. For 4 it will be 4 5, 4 6, 4 7, 4 8, 4 9, 4 10. Like that you can create 9 10. These are the number of pairs you can create in which x is less than y. Now the second case, we have to target the pairs. If we add those pairs, that will result into an even number. So that's possible only in case of odd odd pair or even pair. See, this is a odd odd pair, this is a odd odd pair, this is a odd odd pair, this is a odd odd pair. Now this is a even pair, this is a even pair, this is a even pair, this is a even pair. So like that you can count the numbers and you can write down the answers. Okay, this is a homework. It's quite easy, you don't have to worry about it. You just need to understand that sum of x plus y is odd when odd plus even or even number plus odd number is added, will get odd number. Okay, now find the number of triangles that can be formed with 4 non-collinear plane. The collinear means the points will come in one line. Non-collinear means they won't come in one line. So there are 4 points. With these 4 points I have to create a triangle. So the first triangle I will be creating is this. The second triangle I will be creating is this. The third triangle I will be creating is this. The fourth triangle I will be creating is this. So if I number it A, B, C, D, I will create first A, B, C, A, D, C, B, A, D, B, C, D. Okay. So these are the number of triangles. These are the number of triangles that can be formed. That can be formed. See, this was less number of collinear points, non-collinear points. That's why we did all this, magical stuff. But the formula for this will be NC3. N is equal to number of points. Threes, with these three numbers a triangle can be formed. So here N was what? 4. C3. So 4 factorial divided by 4 minus 3 factorial multiplied by 3 factorial, which is equal to 4 factorial divided by 4 3 is equal to 1 factorial multiplied by 3 factorial. 4 factorial can be written as 3 factorial into 4 divided by 3 factorial. So it is 4. Okay. So if it was written 5 non-collinear points, I would have written 5C3, 5 factorial divided by 5 minus 3 factorial into 2 factorial is equal to 5 factorial divided by 5 minus 3 is equal to 2 factorial into 3 factorial. If I solve it, I will get my answer. That is 3 factorial into 4 into 5. I can write down 5 factorial as 3 factorial multiplied by 4 into 5 divided by 2 factorial into 3 factorial. 3 factorial cross out. 2 factorial is equal to 2. So it will cross down and 10. So how many triangles I could have formed with 5 non-collinear points? 10. So like that you need to understand, in order to calculate the number of triangles from non-collinear points, it should be NC3. Now, this is the homework to you. I have already solved this. So now here it is given that the number of triangles can be formed by joining the vertices of octagon. Octagon means 8. Triangle. So 8 factorial divided by 8 minus 5 factorial multiplied by 3 factorial is equal to 8 factorial divided by 3 8 minus 3 factorial into 3 factorial. So it will be 5 factorial multiplied by 3 factorial. Okay. So if you solve it, you will get the total number of triangles. That is 8 factorials can be written as 5 factorial into 6 into 7 into 8 divided by 5 factorial. 3 factorial can be written as 3 into 2 into 1. 5 cross out. 3 2s are 6. 2 cross out. So total 56 number of triangles. 7 into 8 is equal to 56 number of triangles can be formed by joining the vertices of a octagon. So this is how you should be calculating triangles. Now, here the question is a bit tricky. Find the number of triangles that can be formed using 10 points in a plane such that 3 points are collinear. Now, we don't know how to place 10 numbers with 3 points in collinear and how to calculate the triangle. So simply we'll do how many triangles can be formed with 10 numbers, 10 points, that is 10C3. If I deduct the number of triangle formed with 3 collinear point, I'll get my answer. Now 10C3, 10 factorial divided by 10 minus 3 factorial into 3 factorial minus 3C3 will always be what? 3C3 will always be 1. Okay. NCN is always what? Whenever we'll be solving this question, we'll solve it what? N factorial divided by n minus n factorial into n factorial. N factorial 0 factorial into n factorial. So this will cross out to 1. So if I solve this whole question, 10 factorial divided by 7 factorial into 3 factorial minus 1. 10 factorial can be written as 7 factorial into 8 into 9 into 10 divided by 7 factorial into 3 factorial. 3 factorial can be written as 3 into 2 into 1 minus 1. 7 7 cross out. 3 3 2 4. 4 into 3 is equal to 12. 120 minus 1 is equal to 119 triangles can be formed by using 10 points in a plane with 3 points or collinear. Just you need to understand this concept only. How many total triangles can be formed? If I deduct number of triangles can be formed with 3 collinear points, I'll get my answer. Because collinear points cannot form a triangle, because these 3 collinear points will be in one line. So these cannot form a triangle. That's why I have to deduct it. Now, this is another concept. So whenever you will be find out diagonal, the formula of diagonal is n into n minus 3 by 2 or nc2 minus n. So whichever formula you try to remember, but you need to use this, and this question was asked in CGL 2022 tier 2 examination. Okay, so you need to remember this formula. N is what? N is number of vertices. So in octagon it's 8. 8 minus 3 by 2. So 8 into 5 by 2 is equal to 2 4s are 8, 20. So 20 diagonals can be formed through an octagon. So this is the formula you all need to remember. If you do not want to lose 3 marks, then you need to remember this formula. The all important formulas I have already mentioned in this particular lecture. You just need to remember those formulas because that will help you out. Okay, so let's understand one more concept, that is Handshake concept, and this is the last concept of our permutation and combination. Let's make it 190 handshakes. Okay, so in a party every person shakes hand with every other person. If there were 190 handshakes, find the number of persons attended the party. So in order to happen one handshake, 2 persons need to extend their hands. Okay, so the formula of handshake will be nc2. Okay, now my nc2 here is 190. So if I solve it, n factorial divided by n minus 2 factorial into 2 factorial is equal to 190. My n factorial can be written as n minus 2 factorial into n minus 1 into n divided by n minus 2 factorial into 2. 2 factorial is 2 is equal to 190. So n minus 2 cross out. N into n minus 1 is equal to 190 multiplied by 2 is equal to 380. So n will be 20 and n minus 1 will be 19. So 20 persons attended the party and 190 handshakes happened between them. Okay, so this was all the concepts about permutation and combination. I hope you all are clear about it. If you think this is taking a bit long time, take a break, then start with probability. Now guys, let's move to our most important and most awaited concept, that is probability. In this video, we'll be learning about basics of probability, coins concept, dice concepts, balls concept, replacement card, Venn diagram, and binomial probability. I want all of you to take out your pen and paper and solve each and every questions with me so that your conceptual clarity will be strong. Okay, let's understand probability. See, probability also has been a part of our life. So what is probability? So probability is all about total number of options we have. Total number of options we have. Desired number of. So for an example, I have 5 t-shirts. For an example, I have 5 t-shirts. Okay. Each are of different color, red,
blue, green, black, yellow. Okay. So if I'm asked what is the probability of selecting or choosing red color t-shirt out of my 5 t-shirts, so what will be the answer? So my total number of options available or total number of outcomes was 5 because I have 5 t-shirts. And desired number of option, that is I am desiring and I am trying to select red, so desired number of option is 1. So the probability of finding something, in this case probability of finding red color t-shirt out of the 5 t-shirts I have will be 1 by 5. So whenever we'll be asked about finding probability of something, we need to find out two things. First thing will be, we need to find out the total number of options, slash outcomes. How many possibilities are there? Second thing, we need to find out the desired, which we are being asked or which is being asked in this particular question. Desired number of options slash outcomes. Okay, so this total number of outcomes in terms of probability is known as sample space. How many options you have, and this total desired number of outcomes is known as possible outcome. What is it? The possible outcome. Okay, now if there is a possible outcome, there is an opposite of possible outcome, that is an impossible outcome. Impossible outcome. What is an impossible outcome? That means probability of something not happening, that is the opposite of probability of something happening. So we'll learn three things. First thing is total number of options or outcomes, that will be known as our sample space. Then we know what desired number of options or outcomes, that is our possible outcome. And then the third thing, we know what is impossible outcome, that is known as probability of something not happening. So in this case, if I try to find out in this particular question, what is the probability of not selecting red color t-shirt? So I can say the total number of options I have 5. If I'm not selecting red, then I should select a t-shirt out of the 4. Okay, so or I can write it in the form of permutation and combination. The probability of selecting a t-shirt which is not red will be 4C1. Selecting a t-shirt out of 5 options is 5C1. Now, as we know, NC1 will always 4 and NC1 is always 5. So the probability of not selecting a t-shirt is 4 by 5. Now we see this impossible event, that is not selecting something. This can be written as 1 minus probability of possible outcome. Probability of impossible outcome is equal to 1 minus probability of possible outcome. How would that solve? So 1 minus probability of possible outcome was 1 by 5. So if I start solving it, this will be like 5 minus 1, that is 4 by 5. So the probability of finding a t-shirt which is not in red color is 4 by 5. And the way we solve this whole questions manually, we find out probability of selecting a t-shirt which is not red color is 4 by 5. So here what we understood whenever we have to find out a probability of an impossible outcome or a negative outcome of something positive, we should solve it like 1 minus probability of possible or desired outcome. Okay. In shorter form, what it is written, the probability of something is written as probability of E. This is probability of possible outcome, and probability of impossible outcome is written as P dash. Impossible, or you can say undesired outcome, or you can say undesired outcome. Okay, so this is the thing we are understanding. So I can write it as P, probability of not getting something is 1 minus probability of getting something, or I can write it as probability of getting something plus probability of not getting something will always be 1. Probability of occurrence of an event plus probability of non-occurrence of an event will always be 1. This is the theory 1 you should remember, because in CGL mains and CHSL mains there are certain type of theoretical questions are being asked, conceptual questions are being asked. So I want all of you to remember this. If you see something like this, you should not miss it out, or you should not skip it out. So the first thing is probability of occurrence of an event plus probability of non-occurrence of an event will always be 1. Now the second theorem, probability of occurrence of an event, probability of something that will happen will always, the value of the probability always lies between 0 to 1. It can't be more than 1. Here in this question I had 5 t-shirt, right? And if I have to select one t-shirt out of the 5, how many options I had? I have 5 options. So the probability of selecting a t-shirt will always 1. So the possible outcome that we are solving here, the possible outcome can be 1, but it can't be more than 1. Okay, that's what I want to help you understand. So these are the two things you need to remember while solving questions of probability. Now let's move with basic concepts. The first question that we will be solving is, if probability of getting selected in SSC CGL examination is 0.5, so probability of getting selected is 0.5, then what is the probability of not getting selected? That means it's the opposite of probability of getting selected. So probability of not getting selected will be 1 minus probability of getting selected, which is 1 minus 0.5, or I can write it 1 minus 0.5 is equal to 0.5 as my answer. Sometimes 0.5, sometimes 0.5 will be written as half, 1 by 2. So probability of getting selected is 1 by 2. So probability of not getting selected is 1 minus 1 by 2. So this is how you should be solving a question if it is written in this way. Now the second question, what is the probability of a perfect square numbers? So this is the first thing homework for you, because this is quite easy for you. What you need to find out, see your total number of outcome, total number of options. How many options you have? 20 natural numbers. Now you have to find out your desired, total number of desired option or outcome. What is your desired option? That number should be a perfect square. So if you find out the number of perfect square with less than 20, and if you try to find out the probability, you can do what? Number of perfect square less than 20 divided by our sample space, our total number of outcome 20, that will lead to your probability of finding perfect square number less than 20. So this is the homework for you. I have already solved the whole concept. You just have to put out the number. Okay. Now let's understand coins. So coins concept is quite, easier if you try to focus it, if you try to understand it well. See, in coin concept, what happens if you toss a coin? If you toss a coin, what will be the outcome? Either you will get head or you will get tail. This head and tail can be written as HT. Okay. If you toss a coin second time, your outcome will be head or tail. Your outcome won't change, right? You won't get something different. So it will be head or tail. If you do it for the third time as well, your outcome will be same, head or tail. So if I say, if I am tossing a coin thrice, if I am tossing a coin 3 times, how many outcomes I will have? In the first case, I am getting 2 outcomes. In the second case, I am getting 2 outcomes. In the third case, I am getting 2 outcomes. Okay. So if I am tossing coins thrice, total number of outcomes I am getting is 2 multiplied by 2 multiplied by 2, that is 8. How I would get it? So I write it down. So if I am tossing a coin once, I am getting head, tail, okay, or I am getting tail or head, okay. In the next case, I may get head, tail same way, or tail and head the same way. I may get head and tail for the third time, or tail and head for the second number of times. So whenever I will be asked if I am tossing a coin twice or thrice, I would be doing what? I will simply do 2 into 2 into how many times it has been tossed. Or I can say I should use this formula 2 to the power n. N means number of times coin is tossed. So in this case, the coin was tossed thrice, right? So I can simply write down 2 to the power 3, that is 8. 8 is my total number of outcomes. What is my total number of outcomes? 8 is my total number of outcomes if I am tossing a coin thrice. Let's say you are not tossing a coin multiple times, you are tossing multiple coins simultaneously. What I am saying, you are tossing multiple coins simultaneously. That means you are tossing 2 coins simultaneously. So what are the options you will get? You may get head or tail, or tail or head, or head or head, or tail or tail. The first coin may get you head, the second coin may get you tail. The first coin may get you tail, the second coin may get you head. The first coin may get you head, the second coin may get you head. The first coin may get you tail, the second coin may get you tail. So how many options you get? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Sorry, 1, 2, the first outcome first. This is the second outcome. This is the third outcome. This is the fourth outcome. So how many outcomes you got? 4 outcomes. So I could have written 2 to the power 2. The number of times, the number of coins I have tossed is equal to 4. So in case of tossing multiple coins, I can write 2 to the power n, where n is equal to number of coins tossed simultaneously. So if I will simply ask, I am tossing 10 coins simultaneously, how many outcomes I will get? I will get 2 to the power 10 outcomes. If someone will ask, I am tossing 20 coins simultaneously, total outcome 2 to the power 20. You don't have to find out this in this way. You don't have to do the manual labor. You simply go to this formula, use this formula to find out total number of outcomes possible while tossing multiple coins or while tossing coins multiple times. Okay. With this concept, let's solve few questions and get the concept or the clarity about questions. So here 2 coins are tossed simultaneously. So first thing, total number of outcomes. Total number of outcomes. If I have to find out probability, I need 2 things, total number of outcomes and desired number of outcomes. And desired number of. So if I toss a coin twice, I may get head and tail, or tail and head, or head and head, or tail and tail. So how many options I will get? I will get 4 options. So total outcome is 4. Now it said, in how many cases I will get only one head? In how many cases I will get only one head? Here, in this case and in this case. Let me change the color. So here in this case and in this case, this is head and tail. This is tail and head. Please ignore my handwriting. I'm trying to make it as clean as possible. So in two cases, I will get one head. For one head, I will get in two cases. Now, the desired outcome for two head, I will solve directly the probability, but let me find out, let me help you understand how you will be finding out your desired number of outcomes. So, in how many ways you will get two head? So, in this whole options, in how many cases you are getting two heads? Only in one case you are getting two heads. So, two heads can be, achieved only in one scenario. So if I am asked probability of finding one head by tossing two coins simultaneously, what will be my answer? My answer will be total number of observation or total number of outcomes and my desired number of outcomes, that is 2. If I solve this, it will be 1 by 2. So 1 by 2 is the probability of getting one head. If I say probability of getting two head, that means number of outcome what? 4. And in how many numbers I am getting two head? In only one. So probability of getting two heads will be 1 by 4. Okay. So I hope you are getting the point how to find out total number of outcomes and how to find out desired number of outcomes. Now the next question, it is asking I am getting at least one head. That means at least one head and two heads as well, because at least is given. So at least one head or two head is also given. So in this scenario, in this particular scenario, I can write down I am getting head twice, one head twice, plus getting two head one. So my total number of desired outcome is what? My total number of desired outcome is 3. Now the probability of finding at least one head will be total number of outcome 4 and total number of desired outcome 3. So getting at least one head is 3 by 4. Now the next question, getting at most one head. See, in this question, in case of head, it can, the questioner may ask at least getting one head or two tail or at least one tail. So both are possible. You just need to have the conceptual clarity how you are finding out the desired outcome. In case of at most one head, that means what? At most one head means no head or one head. This is the probability of principle of OR. So number of times I will get no head plus number of times I will get one head. So if I toss coin twice, I will get head tail, tail head, head tail tail. Now here no head options. How many no head options I will get? 1 plus in how many options I will get only one head? Here and here. So the total number of desired outcome to get of getting at the most one head is 3. So if I'm trying to find out probability of finding at most one head is equal to total number of outcome was 4, my desired outcome that getting at least one head is at most one head is 3 by 4. Okay, now let's say in the next question in the next thing it has asked probability of not getting a head, probability of not getting head. So the total number of outcome was 4. So in which outcome there was no head? In this outcome there is no head. So the probability of not getting head can be 1 by the probability of getting head can be 1 by. So this is the simplest or the basic questions of quant concept. We will gradually learn a bit of advanced level of questions, but you need to understand both these concepts very well. How you are finding out one head, how you are finding out two heads, how you are finding out at least one head, at most one head or no head. Okay. Now, I hope this is clear. Now solve this question. Here you will be finding out total number of outcomes of 3 coins: head, tail, tail, head, tail, head, tail, head, tail, 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 head. Similarly, head, 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 tail, head, tail, tail, head. Sorry, tail, head, tail. In this way, you will be calculating the numbers, or I can say directly will find out the answer through 2 to the power n, that is n number of coins tossed thrice, that is 8. So your total number of outcomes is 8. So your base is fixed. Now you just have to find out in how many ways you will get only one head, in how many ways you will get only two heads, or in how many ways you will get at least one head, then at most two heads and no head. Okay. Now, here a coin tossed 5 times. See, total number of outcome two to the power 5, that is 2 into 2 into 2 into 2 2 to 4 to 8 to 16 to 32. So 32 is my total number of outcomes. So what is the probability of getting exactly 3 heads? If I am tossing a coin 5 times, what is the probability of getting exactly 3 heads? How would it be? How would it be? Head, tail, tail, head, head, head. So if I'll try to solve this whole thing, how would I find out? I'll find out my desired outcomes by selecting only 3 heads. Okay, so this will how you will be solving what is the probability of getting exactly 3 heads. Okay, this is a homework for you. Now, a coin tossed 4 times. A coin tossed 4 times. What is the probability of getting? What is the probability of getting at most 2 heads? In the last question, what we are seeing? We are seeing the probability of getting at exactly 3 heads. Here we are seeing probability of getting at most. Here the word you need to figure out. This means what? No head plus 1 head plus 2 head. This is what? This will get you your desired number of outcomes. Now your total number of outcomes will be what? Two to the power 4, that is 16. 4 is the number of times it is tossed. So your total number of outcomes is 16. How will it look like? So each time you will toss a coin, it will be give options like this. So in this way, if you toss the coins, okay, you will get either head or tail or head or tail. Okay. So this is how you will be getting your options. Now it it has asked how many times you will get at most two heads. So you will solve it like this. So in the first coin, you are getting, for an example, head, then in all the coins tail. Head twice, tail twice, or tail. Or this head can be rotated as tail, head, tail, 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 head, head, tail, 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 head. You are tossing coin 4 times. Okay. So this is the probable outcomes you may get. Okay. Now, and no head, now two heads. Or I can write head, head, tail, tail, head, tail, head, tail, head, tail, tail, head. Or this can be written as tail, head, head, tail, tail, head, tail, head, tail, tail, head, head. Or this can be written as, okay. So all the possible outcomes has been written down. Now see, in how many options we are getting at the most two heads. In how many options we are getting outmost two heads? One. In this option we are getting three heads. Okay, so this option won't be calculated. In how many options, sorry, it's 10. In how many options we are getting, just a minute, let me change the color. So in how many options we are getting at the most two heads? Here we are getting one head, one. Here only two head, no head, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So in 12 options, in how many options? In 12 options, we are getting at most two heads. Now, my total number of outcomes was what? 2 to the power 4, that is 16. So the probability of getting at most two heads will be 12 by 16. That is, if I cross it through 4, 3 by 4. So the probability of getting at least two heads will be 3 by 4. I hope with this you are clear how to find out at most two heads or at least two heads or no head, all these questions. Okay. Now next, this is the question that is given for you. Try to solve this question. I know this will take a bit of time, but why I'm giving you to try this question? Because unless until you solve this question, you won't be able to understand, or your conceptual clarity regarding this whole probability thing in coin based questions won't be resolved. That's why I'm giving you this tough question or the calculative one. This is a homework for you. Now, if three coins are tossed simultaneously, what is the probability of getting more heads than tails? What is the probability of getting more heads than tails? So three coins are tossed. So how many options I'll get? Head, 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 tail, 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 head, 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 tail, head, 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 tail, 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 head, tail, head, tail, head, tail, and tail. So how many options I'm getting? 3, 3, 6, and 2. So I'm getting 2 to the power 3. That is the option 8 outcomes. Now, here what it has asked in how many options I will get more heads and less tail. In how many options I'm getting more head and less tail? Let me change the color and mark it. So in this option I'm getting more head. In this option I'm getting more head. In this option I'm getting more head. So in this total and I'm getting this option, I'm getting all heads. So more tails. More, it is means that I have more heads than tail. Here tail is 0 and I have 3 heads. So my number of desired outcome 1, 2, 3, 4. Total number of outcomes is 2 to the power 3, that is 8. So probability of getting more heads than tails will be 4 by 8, or if I solve it, it will be 1 by 2. So in 1 by 2 is the probability of getting head more than tail if 3 coins are tossed simultaneously. I hope this is clear to each and every one of you. Now, let's understand dice concept. See, a dice has 6 faces, right? Each face is number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So if a dice is rolled once, how many total number of outcomes you will get? 6. If a dice is rolled twice, in the first case you will get 6, in the second case you will get 6. If a dice is rolled thrice, 3 times, similarly you will get options 6 multiplied by 6 multiplied by 6. So you need to understand this basic question first. How, if we are throwing a dice, or if a dice is played, how many outcomes will be there? Okay. Now if it asks, if a dice is rolled once, okay, a dice is rolled, then what is the probability of getting 3? What is the probability of getting 3? So in probability of getting 3 will be what? Total number of option, that is 6. You have 6 outcomes. Getting 3, you will get 3 once. So the probability of getting 3 is 1 by 6. Similarly, probability of getting 1 or getting 2 or getting 4 or any number will always be 1 by 6. Okay. Now, it can ask it a different way. Let's say it may ask what is the probability of getting a prime number if a dice is thrown. So for what we know, the number of option is fixed, that is 6. Now what are the prime numbers? 2, 3 and 5. So the probability of finding a prime number will be 3, because there are 3 options of total outcome, that is 1 by 2. So the probability of finding a prime number will be 1 by 2. Or it may ask various questions which we will be solving in next slide. So you need to understand, before we solve the questions, the probability or the total number of outcomes when we are rolling a dice will be 6. If it is rolled twice, it will be 6 and 6. Or if 2 dices are rolled simultaneously, the total number of outcome will be 6 multiplied by 6. Okay. Now, a dice is thrown. Find the probability of the following. What we know, total number of outcomes is what? 6. Now, odd number 1, 3, 5. These are the number of odd number. So the total number of desired outcome is 3. So probability of finding a odd number is total number of desired outcome divided by total number of outcome. So I have 3 numbers, those are odd in nature, and I have total 6 numbers. So the probability is 1 by 2. 1 by 2 is the probability of finding an odd number. Similarly, for even number, total number of outcome is 6 fixed. So number of even number 2, 4, 6. So 3. It is same as, so it will be 1 by 2. So the probability of finding even number is 1 by 2. I have already solved the prime number. What are the prime numbers? 2, 3, 5. So it will be 3. what I'm doing, 3 means the total number of outcomes, total number of desired outcomes. What is our desired outcome? This number of prime numbers. So it will be 3 by 6 or 1 by 2. Now, what is the multiple of 2? So my desired outcome will be 2, 4 and 6. So multiple of 2, 4, 6 will be 3 by 6, that is 1 by 2. Now, in this question, what it has asked? Multiple of 2 or 3. Multiple of 2 or 3. So how many multiple of 2 are there? 2, 4, 6. Multiple of 3, 3 and 6. But here, you see, 6 is common. So if I add both these numbers, there will be a error in this particular solution. Why? Because 6 has been counted twice. So here I will do 2, 4, 6 and 3. So total number of outcome will be 4. Okay. Now here multiple of 2 or 3 will be 4 by 6, that is 2 by 3. If I divide the whole 4 by 6 in 2, it will be 2 by 3. Now, the next question. How many numbers are greater than 4? So, if a number is greater than 4, my desired outcome will be 5 and 6, right? So, how many desired outcomes are there? 2 desired outcomes there. So, what will be the probability? Probability will be 2 desired outcomes divided by total number of outcomes. And if I solve it, I will get 1 by 3. So 1 by 3 is the probability of getting a number greater than 4. The next question. Getting a natural number greater than 6. If a dice is rolled and I am getting an outcome which is greater than 6, is it possible? Is there any number which is greater than 6 available in a dice? If it is true, we'll get that number? No. So greater than 6, it's an impossible event. So 0. So probability of an impossible event will always be 0. Here, see, getting a number, natural number greater than 6. So numerator will be 0, denominator will be 6. So it will be 0. Now, in the last question, what is asked? Getting a natural number less than 7. Number less than 7. How many options I have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. So how many outcomes? 6. So total number of desired outcome is 6 and total number of outcome is 6. So the probability is 1. We know probability can be between 0 to 1. So the probability of getting natural number less than 7 will be. So these are the basic concepts or the basic question that is being asked repeatedly, in SSC examinations, and this is how you will be solving these questions. You need to understand how to find out desired outcome and how to find out total number of outcomes. If you find out both these number, you will be able to easily solve each and every question. Okay. Now, here 2 dice are thrown. 2 dice are thrown. How many? Find the probability of sum of 7. See, if 2 dice will be thrown, the probability, change the color. The probability will be like 1, 2, 1, 1, 1, 3, 1, 4, 1, 5, 1, 6. Similarly, 2, 1, 2, 2, 2, 3, 2, 4. So total number of outcomes will be 6 into 6, as we know, that is 36 outcomes. Now, if I throw a dice twice and the outcomes I am getting, my desired outcomes, what is my desired outcome? Sum of both these number is 7. So in how many ways I can get sum of numbers that is 7? I may get a pair 1, 6 or 6, 1, or I can get a pair 2 5 or 5 2. I may get a pair 3 4 or 4 and 3. So in how many ways I am getting this? In 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. So the total number of desired outcome is 6, and my total number of outcomes is 36. Now if I have to find out the probability, how would I solve it? It will be 6 by 36, number of desired outcomes divided by total possible outcomes. That means if I solve it, it will be 1 by 6. So 1 by 6 is the probability of getting sum of 7 when 2 dices are thrown. Okay. I hope you are clear about this total number of outcomes and this total number of desired outcomes. So you need to always see, the error will always lie in finding out the total number of possible outcomes and total number of favorable or desired outcomes. Okay. Now, second question, getting greater number on first dice than on the second dice, given that sum should be equal to 6. Now, in this question, in the second question, there are two rules. First number should be greater than second number, and first number plus second number is equal to 6. So let's see how many pairs are there in which can get us 6. So it will be 1 5, 5 1, 2 4, 4 2, 3 3. So these are the pairs. If we add these pairs, we will get a number 6. But the first condition is what? We should only consider the pairs in which first digit is greater than second digit. So which are those pairs in which first digit is greater than second digit? This is a pair. This is a pair. So my total number of desired or favorable outcomes is 2. Now total number of possible outcomes, if dice is 2 dices are thrown, is 36. So if I solve to get the probability, it will be 2 by 36, that is 1 by 18. So in this question, if I am finding out a pair of number getting greater number on first dice than the second, and given that the sum of equal to 6, it will be 1 by 18. I hope this is clear to you. Now, sum is multiple of 4. In the third question, it is asking the pair I will be getting, the sum of those pair will be multiple of 4. So what are the multiples of 4? 4, 12, 4, 8, 12, 16. Can we get any number which is 16? We can't. So we have only 3 options, 4, 8 and 12. So if I have to find out the pairs which will make 4, 8, 12, what it can be? 1, 3, 3, 1, 2, 2. Okay. For 8, can it be possible? 1, 7, it won't possible. 7, 1, it will be possible. 2, 6, 6, 6, or 4, 4, or 3, 5, 5, 3. So these many pairs are available through which we can get 8. Now for 12, we have only one option, that is 6 and 6, because apart from this option there is no other options available which can get us 12. So how many number of desired outcomes we have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So number of desired outcomes is equal to 9. Total number of possible outcomes was 36. So if I have to find out the probability, what I will do? I will do 9 by 36, that is 1 by 4. I hope you are able to solve this fraction, that 9 by 36 is equal to 1 by 4. Now, in the next question, it is asked at least sum of 8 sum of 8 means what? At least sum of 8 means you will get sum of 8, 9, 10, 11 and 12. Because after 12 you won't get any number, any sum more than 12, right? So we have to find out each and every possibility for 8, 9, 10, 11 and 12. So for 8, the number of possibility will be 2, 6, 6, 2, 4, 4, 3, 5, 5 and 3. For 9, it will be 3, 6, 6, 3, 4, 5, 5 and 4. This is for 8. This is for 9. For 10, it will be 5 and 5, 4 and 6, 6 and 4. For 11, it will be 5 and 6, 6 and 5. For 12, it will be 6, 6. So how many total number of desired outcomes are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 and 15. So desired outcomes 15. Total number of possible outcomes 36. So the probability will be 15 by 36, and if I solve it, I'll get something like this, 5 by 12. If I divide the whole both number by 3, I'll get this number. Now, sum is divisible by 2. You need to find out the sum which is divisible by 2. So, which are the sums which will be divisible by 2? 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. So, you need to find out the pair. If you add this pair and you will get 2, 4, 6, you need to find out that. For 2, it will be 1 and 1 only. For 4, it will be 2, 2, 1, 3, 3, 1. For 6, it will be 3, 3, 2, 4, 4, 2, 1, 5, 5, 1. Okay. For 8, 4, 4, 2, 6, 6, 2. For 10, 4, 6, 6, 4, 5, 5. For 12, we know is 6 and 6. Okay. So how many desired outcomes are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 and 16. So total number of desired outcomes are 16 divided by total number of outcomes 36. If I solve it, I'll get it like 4 by 9. So this is my probability of getting, if I'm throwing 2 dice, I'm getting a pair, and if I add this pair, the sum is divisible by 2. So this is how you will be solving questions if it is asked in your examination, in your tier 2 examination. Okay. This is it. I have already solved this question, so there is no use of solving this. 2 dice are thrown, find the probability of sum is a prime number. Now, here comes our balls concept. This is what? Balls concept. We are done with dice now. I hope each and every one of you are clear with dice concepts. Now let's understand balls concept. See, in probability, 2 things are fixed. First thing, we need to find out number of possible outcomes. Then we need to find out desired number of outcomes. If we find out both these numbers, we can find out probability of anything possible. Now, how many balls are there? I have 5 white balls and 3 8 balls, and I am selecting one ball. So the probability of the how many ways this can be selected? 8C1, that is 8. So number of possible outcomes is 8. I hope you are getting the point. How I am selecting one ball out of 8 balls. So number of possible outcome is 8. Now desired outcome. So in the first case, it is asked white balls. Find the probability of selecting a white ball. So how many white balls are there? 5. So I will be selecting one. In how many ways I can select it? In 5 ways. So the probability of selecting a white ball will be total number of desired outcome divided by number of possible outcome. So this is my probability of selecting a white ball. For red ball, my desired outcome will be 3 red balls are there. I'm selecting one. So it will be 3C1. It will be 3 factorial, 3 minus 1 factorial into 1 factorial. I know few of might get confused. That's why I'm solving it. 3 factorial can be written as 2 factorial into 3. 2 factorial, 1 factorial is equal to 1. This will cross out. So I'll get 3. So the number of desired outcomes is 3. And total number of possible outcomes is 8. So out of 8 balls, I can select 3 red balls, right? So the probability of selecting a red ball will be 3 by 8. This is a easier question. Even if you are not calculating this, you can directly answer this question because these are easy, basics. You have 8 balls, the number of red balls are 3, so the selection of red balls will be 3. So 3 by 8 is the probability of red balls. Same goes for white balls. Let's move ahead. Here, a bag contains 5 white balls, 3 red balls, but you are selecting 2 balls randomly. You have 8 balls, you are selecting 2 balls. So this is your number of possible outcomes. If I solve it, I will get 8 factorial divided by 8 minus 2 factorial multiplied by 2 factorial. That is 8 factorial divided by 6 factorial into 2. 2 factorial is equal to 2. 8 factorial can be written as 6 factorial multiplied by 7 into 8 divided by 6 factorial multiplied by 2, and 6 factorial cross out. 2 can be divide 8 by 4. So total number of outcomes is 7 into 4 is equal to 28. So our base is already sorted. So total number of balls, 2 balls can be selected out of 5 white and 3 red ball is in 28 ways. Now the number of white balls I will be selecting. So for the first question, my answer will be 28, and for the above number of white balls, so I will be selecting 2 white balls out of 5. So I can write 5 factorial divided by 5 minus 2 factorial into 2 factorial. 28 will be divided, so it will be here. Now I can solve it as 5 factorial divided by 3 factorial into 2 factorial into 28. 5 factorial can be written as 3 factorial into 4 into 5 divided by 3 factorial. 2 factorial is 2, 28 will be there, 3 factorial will cross out, 2 will cross 2, then 2 will cross 28 as 14. So 5 by 14 is the answer of finding probability of white balls while selecting 2 balls random. I hope this is clear. This calculation is clear to each and every one of you. And how I am crossing each and everything. 3 factorial is crossing out 3. Now 4 is divided by 2. I will get 2. Then this 2 will divide 28 as 14. So I will be left with 5 by 14. So 5 by 14 is my answer for white balls. So for red balls, my answer will be number of red balls 3. I am selecting 2 out of it, and total number of outcomes 28. So my answer will be 3 factorial divided by 3 minus 2 factorial into 2 factorial into 28. If I solve this whole question, I'll get my number of red balls. Now 3 factorial, 3 minus 2, 1 factorial into 2 factorial into 28. 3 factorial can be written as 2 factorial into 3. 1 factorial is equal to 1. 2 factorial is equal to 2. 28 is there. Now 2 factorial cross out. So my answer is 3 by 28. So 3 by 28 is the probability of selecting 2 red balls out of 5 white and 3 red balls. Now here the question is given at least 1 red ball. That means there will be how many scenarios? I have 3 red balls. How many scenario will happen? 3C1 getting at least once. And see, first thing is I have to select 2 balls. So if I am selecting at least 1 ball from red, then the second ball will come from where? From white. So this is the first case. The second case will be what? 3C2. So if I am selecting 2 balls and I am getting these two balls from red, then I don't have to select anything from white. So when I am given with the question like I have to select at least one red ball, these many cases will happen. Selecting at least one red ball plus selecting two balls. Because our final question is selecting two balls randomly. So if I solve it, 3C1 will be 3, 5C1 will be 5, plus 3C2 will be 15 plus 3 is equal to 18. So number of desired outcomes is 18. My number of desired outcomes is 18 divided by total number of possible outcomes, that is 28. And if I solve it, I will get 9 by 14 as my answer. 9 by 14 is my answer of finding out at least one red ball. For at most two red balls, the answer will be a bit different. Why? When I am saying at most two red balls, that means 0 red ball, 1 red ball and 1 white ball, or another scenario, 2 red. Now 0 red ball and 2 white balls. Okay. So I can write 5C2 into 3C0 plus 3C1. I have to select one red ball, so the option will be 3C1 multiplied by one white ball, 5C1 plus 3C2. So this is the number of possible outcomes, guys. The way I am solving this, by skipping all the basic concepts of combination. Why? Because I have already help you with understanding how to select something out of given options. So this is why I'm skipping that part. I hope you are clear about it. Okay. So if I solve it, I'll get 5 factorial, 5C2 will be 5 factorial, 5 minus 2 factorial into 2 factorial. 3C0 will be always 1 plus 3C1 is 3, 5C1 is 5 plus 3C2 will be 3. Now 5 factorial divided by 3 factorial into 2 factorial plus 3 into 5 is equal to 15 plus 3. 5 factorial can be written as 3 factorial into 4 into 5 divided by 3 factorial. 2 factorial is 2. So it will get you this number plus 18. 2 into 5 is will be 10 plus 18 is equal to 28. So your total number of desired outcomes. So your total number of desired outcomes will be 28. Now here 28 is my desired outcome divided by total number of possible outcomes is 28. So the probability will be, so the probability of selecting two balls randomly from 5 white balls and 3 red balls with at most 2 red balls will be 1. Now here in this question it is asked not white ball. If I am selecting two balls and I have only two options, that is one is white and one is red, and there will be any white balls selected, then I can directly say, right, the probability of red balls will be same as the probability of not white ball. The probability of red balls is equal to probability of selecting no white balls, right? I hope this is clear to each and every one of you. Now this question, this is a trickier one. So it is saying what is the probability of selecting either white or red. Very simple, principle of OR will be used. So I am selecting two balls from white or two balls from red. So this is my desired outcome. 5C2 will be 5C2. We just find out it will be 10 factorial. It will be 10, sorry, and 3C2 will be 3. So my desired outcome is 13. Now my desired outcome is 13 divided by total number of outcome 28. So this is the probability of finding either white or red ball. Okay, I hope this is clear ball. Either white or red means principle of OR will be used, and this is how two balls will be selected from white, two balls will be selected from red colors. I hope this is clear to each and every one of you. Now, this is a homework for all of you. If you solve this homework, you will be able to attempt 100% questions with 100% accuracy from balls question. Okay. Now, here it is asked, a bag contains 4 green and 2 blue balls. Another bag contains 3 green and 5 blue balls. Another bag contains 3 green and 2 and 5 blue balls. If one ball is drawn out from each bag, if one ball is drawn out from each bag, find the probability of the following. See, the first thing, there are 2 bags. What is it? There will be 2 bags. Your selection will be from first bag, then from second bag. This is how you will be selecting a ball. One ball is drawn out of each bag. One ball is drawn out of each bag. So now, for the first bag, total number of outcome, total number of possible outcome will be what? 4 green, 2 blue. So total 6 ball. I am selecting one. So 6C1 will be 6. For the second bag, total number of outcome will be what? 3 green ball, 5 blue ball. So in total 8 balls. I will be selecting one. So 8C1 is equal to 8. Now, both balls will be green. So here I can write down in the first, for the first option, I can write down out of 4 green balls, I'm selecting one divided by total number of outcomes, that is 6. And from the second bag, I'm selecting 1 green ball out of 3 green balls, and the total number of desired outcome is 8. So if I solve it, 4C1 is equal to 4, 3C1 is equal to 3. If I solve it, I will get 1 by 4 as my probability of selecting both green balls. Selecting both green balls. I hope you are clear of 2 things. First thing, how we have calculated the number of outcomes for each bag. Why we are calculating number of outcomes for each bag, not a combined outcome? Because we are selecting balls from each bag separately. For the whole event, we'll first select the ball from first bag, then we'll select the ball from second bag. That's why it's calculating separately the number of outcomes. Now, what it has asked? It has asked both are green color. So, green color balls can be selected from the available green color box. That's why I write from the first ball, from the first bag, I am selecting 1 green color ball. From the second bag, I am selecting another green color ball. And this is the number of total possible outcomes. And this is how I am finding out that both are green balls. Now, here it is given both are blue ball. See, my denominator is fixed because total number of outcomes are fixed. Now, I am selecting a blue ball from the first bag. First bag has 2 blue balls, so I am selecting one from there. Second bag has 5 blue balls, so I am selecting one there. 2C1 is equal to 2. 5C1 is equal to 5. If I solve it, I'll get 5 by 24. I'll get 5 by 24 as the probability of selecting both balls one by one from ball bag 1 and bag 2. I hope this is clear to each and every one of you. Now, what it is asking, it is saying that you are selecting one ball from each bag, but one is green and one is blue. One is green and one is blue. Now, the thing is you don't know whether from the first bag you will get green and the second bag you will get blue, or from the first bag you will get blue, or in the second bag you will get green. So for this particular question, one green and one blue. For this particular question, there will be two scenarios. First scenario is first bag green ball, second bag blue ball. Then from the first bag blue ball will be selected, and for the second bag green ball will be selected. So these are the two options, two scenarios will happen. Now here what happens, I have 4 green ball and 2 blue balls. So total number of desired outcome is fixed. So I'm selecting green ball. So I had 4 green ball. So I selected 4C1. Now I have second ball will be blue. So in the second bag I have 3 green balls and 5 blue balls. So I'll be selecting 1 blue ball. Okay. So this is the outcome. 4 into 5 by 6 into 8. 5 by 12 is my answer for first green ball coming from first bag and blue ball coming from second bag. But in the second case, it is first blue ball is coming from first bag. So in the first bag, how many blue balls are there? 2 blue balls are there. So it will be written as 2C1. In the second bag, how many green balls are there? 3 are there. So I can select 1 green ball from 3 green balls. So this can be written as 2 by 6 into 3 by 8. 3 or 1 by 8. Now, this is not my final answer. Why this is not my final answer? Because these are the two scenarios. Now principle of OR will be used. So in the first scenario, the probability was 5 by 12. Now in the second scenario, the probability is 1 by 8. So if I add this thing, then I will get my exact answer. If I add these things, I will get my exact answer. Now, if I add these things, your denomination will be 24, 12, 24, 5 into 2 is 10, plus 3, that is 13 by 24. So 13 by 24 is correct answer. You can't simply go with first green ball coming from first bag and blue ball coming from second bag. You can't just go through it because there is not a particular mentioned pattern given in this whole question. So this both scenario can happen. That's why you need to consider both of these scenarios while solving this question. Okay, I hope you are clear. This is a homework. Same numbers. I have just changed the number of balls in order to help you with the calculation. Now, from a bag that is which contains 5 green balls, 3 red balls, we are selecting 3 balls one by one after another. What we are doing? We are selecting 5 balls one after another. So how will be solving it? We'll be solving it like this. For an example, and balls are not being, and each and every balls are not replaced. That means what? If one ball has been selected, that means that ball will be excluded. If one ball is selected, that means that number will be excluded while selecting the next ball. You need to understand this concept first. When it has written 3 balls are drawn one after another, 3 balls are drawn one after another, and it is not replaced by any ball, then how will you find out? First thing, for the first ball, total number of outcomes, 5 green, 3 red ball, so 8C1. that is 8. For the second ball, total number of outcomes. Now one ball has been selected, so I'm left with 7 balls. So the choices will be 7C1. So it is 7 balls are there. Now for if I am selecting third ball and one ball has already been selected out of these 7 balls, I am left with how many balls? 6 balls. So it will be 6C1. That is 6. So now for the first ball my outcome was 8. Then for the second ball my outcome was 7. Then the third ball my outcome was 6. So this is the total number of outcomes. Now I have to find out number of outcomes that is desired for this case. What is desired? 3 balls being green. 3 balls being green. Now for the first ball, how many balls, green balls I have? First 5C1. Now one green ball will be selected. So how many green ball will be I'm left with? I will be left with 4 green balls. 4C1. I have to select one green ball out of these 4 green balls. Now first green ball is done, second green ball is done. How many green balls I am left with now? I am left with 3 green balls. Now I have to select one out of it. As you know, 5C1 or 4C1 or 3C1 is equal to 5 or 4 or 3, as we know from combination, permutation and combination. Now we simply start solving this question. 2, 3 if crossed by 6 it will be 2. So my answer will be 5 by 7 into 4 is equal to 28. So 5 by 28 is my answer while solving this question. Now for an example, if I have to put it into a theorem, how would I put it? For an example, a bag has X number of balls and Y number of balls. Okay. And if I have to calculate, or if I have to select one ball from X color, the probability will be like this: X by X plus Y multiplied by X minus 1 into X plus Y minus 1 multiplied by X minus 2 into X plus Y minus 2. So this is how the probability will be calculated, and this is what we have used in this formula. See, number of green balls 5, so 5 was there. Now X plus Y, 5 plus 3 red balls, that was 8 was there. Now in the second scenario, what we did X minus 1, so 5 green balls minus 1 is equal to 4 green balls. Now X plus Y minus 1, so X plus Y is 8, 8 minus 1 is equal to 7. So in the next case, as in this particular case we are selecting 3 balls, so in the next case what we did what? We did 5 minus 2, that is 3, and X plus Y, that is 8 minus 2 is equal to 6. See, at this stage it may be a bit confused, it may create confusion for you, but you need to understand why we selected the whole thing this way. If you understand this, then you don't need to remember this formula. You just have to have conceptual clarity here. If your conceptual clarity is okay here, you don't need anything. See, in this case, we had to figure out 2 things. First thing was number of possible outcomes. As balls are not replaced, so number of balls are getting reduced in each step. Now, same goes for number of desired outcomes. In desired outcomes also, the balls are not being replaced. That's why in each step, the number of balls are getting reduced. So this, if you focus on these 2 things, and if you remember these 2 things, you can solve questions like this. Okay? This is a questions for you. Now, here the trick is the balls drawn are replaced before the next ball is picked up. What does that mean? If I am selecting a ball, 5 balls are there. Okay, I will select one ball. I will take it, keep it with me. Now, the same color of ball will be added to this whole bag again. Then in the next step, the next ball will be again added to the whole bag. So in this particular scenario, there won't be any reduction, or number of ball won't be less, because it is being replaced. It is being replaced again and again when the next ball is picked up. So I have to I have to select 3 balls out of 5 green and 3 red balls. So my total number of possibilities for each ball, it will be 8C1, that is 8. As in each case ball is being replaced. So in this scenario, what we used to see, for the second ball my total number was getting 7, but here it is being replaced. That means my total number of outcome will always remain 8, as it is being refilled again and again after I choose one ball. Okay, so my total number of outcome for 3 balls will remain same as 8 into 8 into 8. Now I am selecting green balls, and the ball that is being picked up, that is being selected, the same type of ball is being replaced. That means if I am selecting one ball from green here, then I am left with 4 green ball. Now one green ball will be added. So for the next ball, I will be left with how many green balls? I will be left with 5 green balls. Then one red ball is selected. Now I am left with 4 green balls, but again it will be replaced with another green balls. So in the third step, I will be left with 5 green balls as well. Now this will be 5 by 8 into 5 by 8 into 5 by 8, or I can write 5 by 8 to the power. So this is how the number of balls will be selected, or if I will solve it, it will be 5 to the power q will be 128, 8 to the power q will be 512. So this is the answer of this particular question. I hope you understand. It is getting replaced before the next ball is picked. Before I select the second ball, it is being refilled with the same type of ball. That's why number of ball is not getting reduced, and I am getting the same number of balls every time. But in this case, the balls are not getting replaced. The balls are keep getting reduced. Their reduction is keep getting on. Okay, that's why we are seeing less number of balls in each time whenever we are selecting one. Okay, I hope these 2 questions will help you solving questions which will come like this in your CGL or CHSL tier 2 examination. Okay. Guys, if you are still unable to understand it, pause it, go back, then watch it again, because these are very crucial and very important concepts. You can't miss these concepts. But because these type of questions, the probability of getting this type of question in your examination is really high. That's why I'm trying to help you understand. That's why I'm trying to clarify your concepts around these questions. Okay. Now, here, it's a bit more advanced than the previous one. What it is saying, it is saying a bag is containing 5 tennis, 2 cricket, 3 squash balls. Okay. How many balls are there? 5 tennis, 2 cricket, then 3 squash balls. 3 balls will be drawn one after another. 3 balls will be drawn one after another. 3 balls are drawn in succession with replacement. 3 balls will be drawn in succession with replacement. That means my total number of balls will always remain same, and the type of ball I will be selecting, that will be refilled. This means total number of balls after each selection will remain same. Now, total number of balls will be replaced or refilled by same number of balls selected. So if I say in the first case I am selecting a tennis ball. Now I have how many balls? 5 plus 2 into 3. 5 plus 2 plus 3 equal to 10 balls. So if I select one ball, I will be left with 9 balls. But before I select the second ball, this will be refilled again. So how many balls I will be left with? 10 balls. Now the second scenario. In the first case, I was selecting how many balls? I was selecting one tennis ball out of 5 tennis balls. So when I select one tennis ball out of 5 tennis balls, I will be left with how many tennis balls? 4 tennis balls. But before the selection of second ball, this tennis ball will be refilled with another tennis ball. So my total number of tennis ball will always remain same in the case of replacement. So here in this particular question, how will be solving it? Now the probability of, will be finding the probability of selection of first ball is tennis, second ball is cricket, third ball is squash. So how will it do it? As I have already informed you, number of ball will always remain same in each cases. Number of ball will remain same in each cases. So my denominator is fixed because I have 10 balls. Now first case I am selecting tennis ball. How many tennis balls I have? I have 5 tennis balls and I am selecting one. In the second case, I have nothing to do with tennis ball now. I have to select cricket ball. I have 2 cricket balls. I have to select 1 cricket ball out of. Now in the third case, I have to select 1 squash ball. How many squash balls I have? 3 squash balls I have. I will select 1. 5C1 means 5 by 10. 2C1 means 2 divided by 10. 3C1 means 3 divided by 10. Now if I solve it, it will be 2. This will get 3 by 100. 3 by 100 is the probability of selecting 3 balls with succession. First ball is tennis, second ball is cricket, third ball is squash. Okay. In this previous case, we are selecting only one type of ball. That's why we saw this thing, that we are selecting only green balls. But in this case, we are selecting different balls. So the number of balls will remain same and number of types of ball will always remain same as it is being getting filled up before the selection of next. Okay. Now here, 2 from a bag containing 5 tennis, 3 2 cricket, 3 squash balls. 3 balls are picked one after another. 3 balls are drawn in succession with replacement. Find the probability that all 3 are squash balls. See, first thing, 10 balls will be there because this is fixed. This is same as the previous question. Now 3 squash balls are there, I have to select one. 3 squash balls are there, I have to select one. 3 squash balls are there, I have to select one. So I can write it as 3 by 10 into 3 by 10 into 3 by 10, or 3 into 3, 9 into 3 equal to 27 by 1000. So this is the probability of selection of squash ball. Why I did this? Because I am selecting one type of ball and that type of ball is being replaced again and again before selection of the next ball. I hope with this question, all confusion regarding this replacement concept, all confusion regarding this replacement concept is clear now. Okay. The next question. Yes. Find the probability that all 3 are same type. See, this question is similar to all the previous question, but find the probability that all 3 are of similar type. That means what you will be doing, the first scenario will be, you will be selecting one after one, one ball after one ball, either from tennis or from cricket or from squash. But the problem is you have only 2 balls from cricket, but you have to select 3 balls. So cricket won't come to this picture. So there will be 2 scenarios. In first scenario, will be selecting one ball out of 10 balls in from tennis, and in the second case it will be selecting one ball out of 3 squash balls out of this bag. So this will get us the answer. This is 5 into 5 into 5 by 10 into 10 into 10. Here this is 3 into 3 into 3 by 10 into 10 into 10. So I can write 10 into 10 into 10 is equal to 5 into 5 into 5 is equal to 125 plus 3 into 3 into 3 is equal to 27 is equal to 152 by 1000. So this is my answer. Or if I solve it, I will get my answer. So this is how I should be solving the question. So let's see. If I solve this, I will get sorry. This will be my final answer if I divide both the number by 8. Okay, so this is how all the replacement theory will work. Now this is a homework for you. No, this can't be a homework. Yeah, 2 bags. Okay, this is a 2 bag theory, so I'll help you with this. So now there are 2 bags, first bag, second bag. What it is saying, in the first bag there are 5 red and 7 white balls. In the second bag there are 3 red and 10 white balls. Okay, a ball is to be drawn from one or the other of these 2 bags. You will be selecting one ball either from this bag or from that bag, but you will be selecting only red ball for the first bag. For the first bag, this will be 5 plus 7, so 12. I have 12 balls. Out of these 12 balls, so this will be my total number of outcome, 12C1, that is 12 balls. So I will be selecting one red ball. So in the first bag, how many red balls are there? 5. So I can select one red ball in 5 different ways. So the probability is 5 by 12. For the second bag, I have 13 balls. So the probability is 13. Now I have to select one red ball. How many red balls I have? I'm left with 3 red balls. So the probability of selecting from the second bag is 3 by 13. But here the question does not end here. What? The question does not end here. Why it does not end here? Because here lies the clause. A ball is to be drawn from one or the other of these 2 bags. Now we have to find out the probability of these 2 bags as well. So if I have to find out the probabilities of 2 bags, it will be always what? 1 by 2. I have 2 bags. I have to select one. So the probability is 1 by 2. Now 1 by 2 will be multiplied with what? Either selection from this bag or selection from this bag. This will be my final answer. I can't just simply add both these number and find out the answer. This will be wrong because here is the clause. This can be selected either from the first bag or from the second bag. There is the catch that you need to understand. You need to remember while solving such type of questions. So in this type of question, what you should be doing, your formula should be half into ball 1 from this is the theory or the formula you should remember, or the concept you should remember while solving these type of questions. Now next move to the next concept, that is card. This is really easy. Many of you know this is the example of how many cards are there, how you should be solving it. I think in this particular picture, SS are here. Okay, for spade and diamond, SS is not there, so SS of these are also there. So I'll do what? I'll do a simpler format. I'll create a simple format for all of you so that you can remember everything regarding card from this slide. So this is the pictorial representation of how many spades, how many clubs, how many hearts, and how many diamonds are there. So if I will summarize it, in a pack of card, you will have 52 cards, and there will be two colors, red and black. You need to remember all these things because based on this, questions will be asked in this CGL mains or CHSL mains question. Now, out of this two color, that is red and black, how many red colors will be there? 26 red colors will be there. For black, it will be 26. Now, how many red types of card there? There are two types of red card. One is heart, another is diamond. Heart 13 and diamond 13. Then for black, there are two types of card. One is spade and another is club. How many which? 13 each cards. See, spade, club, heart and diamond. Okay, now out of all these 52 cards, there are two types of cards. One will be known as digit cards. Second will be known as honor cards. Now digit cards are what? Those cards with number printed as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 and 9. Honor cards are what? Honor cards are two types. One is known as S, another is known as face or picture card. The cards in which you will get pictures. So how many types of picture cards are there? There are 12 picture cards. And how many SS are there? 4 SS are there. Let's see it. See, these are the face cards or the picture cards. Jack, Queen and King, Jack, Queen and King, Jack, Queen and King, Jack, Queen and King. SS cards are 4. Heart, diamond, spade and club. So 4 SS. I can see that there are 9 digits. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I have written from 1. So it will be actually 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So these are the number cards, or you can say digit cards, and these are the face cards. Which are the face cards? These are the face cards. So how many total face cards are there? 12 face cards are there. How many digit cards are there? Total 9 multiplied by 4, 36 digit cards are there. How many SS are there? 4 SS are there. Now, out of this face picture card, we saw what? Jack, Queen and King types in each card. Okay. So I hope this is clear about the number of and the types of card we'll have. You need to remember this whole thing by heart so that you will be able to solve each and every questions from card concept. Okay. Now, this question, from a pack of card, one card is drawn at random. Now, first thing I will be solving number of possible outcome. Number of possible outcome means how many cards do I have? 52. I have to select one. That means 52 C1 is equal to 52. So now my possible outcomes is 52. That is fixed. One is black. How many black cards I have? From this previous question, we know there are 26 black cards. So I have to select one card from it. So this will be 26. So if I have to find out the probability of one black card, I can write 26 divided by 52. If I solve it, it will be 1 by 2. 1 by 2 is the probability of finding black card out of a pack of cards. Now, the second question, black king. See, here in this particular question, how many kings are there? 4 kings are there. But 2 kings are in black color. So my desired outcome of black king is what? 2. So if I solve it, it will be 2 by 52, that is 1 by 26. 52 will always be same, because in this particular question, out of a pack of card, we are selecting one. So 52 will always remain same for this particular question. Okay. Now, the next question, it is asking about ace of spade. So let's see how many ace of spade are there. So this is ace and this is spade. So how many ace of spade? 1 ace of spade. So my desired outcome for ace of spade is 1. My total number of outcome is 52. So the probability will be 1 by 52. Okay. Now, I have to select a red card. See, this is similar to black. How many red cards are there? 26. How many total cards are there? 52. So the probability will be 1 by 2. Now, it is saying I have to select 9 of heart. How many 9 of heart are there? Here, this is heart. How many 9 of heart are there? Only 1 9 of heart are there. So out of 52 cards, I have only 1 9 of heart. So the probability will be 1 by 52. In this particular question, either king or queen. Now the game is, you need to remember how many kings are there? 4. How many queens are there? 4. So if I have to find out either one king or either one queen, this will be 4 plus 4, that is 8. So my desired outcome is 8 and my total outcome is 52. And if I solve it, I'll get 2 by 13. 2 by 13 as my probability of finding either king or a queen. Same goes for either a heart or a king, queen or a king. Here what will happen? How many hearts are there? 13 hearts are there. Plus, how many queens are there? 4 queens. But in this 13 hearts, 1 queen is included. So how many queens are left? 3 queens. Same. In this 13 cards, 1 king is also included. So here, how many kings are left? 13 kings are left. So my desired outcome for this particular question, that is either a heart or a queen or a king, is 13 plus 3 equal to 16 plus 3 equal to 19. So it will be 19 by 52. So it will be 19 by 52. Now, here in the next question it is saying neither spade nor a king. So what I can do, if I do 1 minus either spade or king, I will get my answer for neither spade or king. The probability I will get for neither spade or king. Now, how many spade are there? 13. Now, in the spade, there is 1 king already included. So out of that 1 king, how many kings are left? 3 kings are left. So total outcome is 16 divided by possible outcome 12. So if I solve it, it is 4 by 13. So if I do 1 minus 4 by 13, how did I find out 4 by 13? So for either king or spade, this will be the probability. Total number of desired outcome was 13 for spade, for king 3, because already 1 king is included in spade. So total number of either spade or king will be 16 out of 52 cards. That will get me 4 by 13. That will get me 4 by 13 as probability of either selecting a spade or a king. Now I have to find out neither spade or king. So if I deduct 4 by 13 from 1, I will get my answer, that is 9 by 10. Okay. I hope this is clear to each and every one of you. Last question from this particular question. How many face card? How many face card will be there? Let's remember, the number of face card was 12. So if I have to find out the face card, what I will be doing? Total number of probability of face card. total number of face card divided by total number of cards, because I am selecting only one card here. So this will get me what? This will get me the probability of selecting a face card out of a pack of cards. So this is how we solved each and every question of card. Let's get you one question. 3 cards are drawn at random from 52 cards. So my total number of possible outcomes is equal to 52C3, 52 factorial divided by 52 minus 3 factorial into 3 factorial, that is 52 factorial divided by 52 minus 3 is equal to 49 factorial multiplied by 3 factorial. Now 52 factorial can be written as 49 factorial into 50 into 51 into 52 divided by 49 factorial into 3 factorial can be written as 3 into 2 into 1. 49 will cross out, 3 will cross it as 14, sorry, it won't cross. Two is equal to 6, 2 can be crossed as 25. So my total outcome is 25 multiplied by 51 multiplied by 52 divided by 3. Now if I solve this, I'll get 17 as the answer. So my total number of outcome will be 25 multiplied by 17 multiplied by 52. This is my total number of outcome. But I have to find out the probability that each card is being a king, a queen or a jack. 4 kings are there, so I can select 4 cards. For queen, 4 queens are there, I can select 4 queens. For jack, 4 jacks are there, so I can select 4 jacks. So if I solve it, if I solve that, I have 4 kings, 4 queens and 4 jack. Now I have to select it. This is not an OR. These cards are dependent of each other because I am selecting one after another. So I'll find out the number of cards is 4 into 4, that is 64. 4q is equal to 64. So the probability will be 64 divided by 25 multiplied by 17 multiplied by 52. If you solve it, you will get the answer of this question. So this is how we will be solving card questions or any questions coming from cards concept. I hope this is clear to each and everyone. Now, this is a homework for you. You already know how many face cards are there, 12. You have to select 3 out of it. Then you have to divide it by 50C3. So if you solve this question, you will get the answer. What is 52C3? I am selecting 3 cards randomly from 52 cards. Now, I have to select a face card. So how many face cards are there? 12 face cards are there. And out of these 12 face cards, I have to select 3 cards. That's why I wrote 12C3 divided by 52C3 as your answer. If you solve it, you will get the exact answer. Now, here, you are selecting 3 cards. That is 52C3. Find the probability that it has at least 1 king. So, there will be 3 scenarios. First scenario will be 1 king and 2 other cards. Second scenario will be 2 king and 1 other cards. Third scenario will be 3 kings. Now, how many kings do I have? 4 kings do I have. So I will be selecting 1. So once I am done with 4 cards, how many other cards I am left with? I am left with 48 cards. So it will be 48C2. For the next case, or in this case, I will be selecting 2 kings. Then I will be selecting 1 other card. In this case, I will be selecting 3 kings. 4C3. I have 4 kings. I will be selecting 3 out of it. So for 3 cards, I have this scenario. So I have to simply add this 4C1 multiplied by 48C2 plus 4C2 multiplied by 48C1 plus 4C3 divided by total number of outcomes 52C3. And if I solve this question, I will get my answer. I will get my answer of this question. You need to understand how I am getting to this point. How I am getting this? Because I have created the three scenario. Each scenario I am taken one king as common and I have done the calculation. Okay. I hope this is clear now. This is a homework for you. Same it. At least two red cards. Sorry, exactly two red cards. So this will be, how many red cards are there? 26C2 multiplied by other card, that is 26 card. One card will be selected from out of it, divided by 52C3. If you solve this question, you will get the answer. I hope you are getting the point that you are selecting two cards from red cards. Now we are done with red card. So what you are left with? You are left with black cards only. So we will be selecting last card, the one card from 26 cards. So this is the answer for your question. Now, this is a Venn diagram concept. This is a Venn diagram concept. Let's solve it. So in this concept, it is saying Sanskrit students opted for Sanskrit 40%, or I can write 40 by 10 or 0.4. Hindi, how many students opted? 20% student opted for Hindi, that is 20 by 100, or I can write 0.2. For both Sanskrit and Hindi, how many students opted? 10%, that is 10 by 100, or I can write it as 0.1. Okay, I hope this is clear to each and everyone. See what it is saying. It is saying a student is selected at random. If a student is selected at random, what is the probability? What is the probability that he has opted for either Sanskrit or Hindi? Either Sanskrit or Hindi. So I can write, this is Sanskrit, this is Hindi. So total number of students opted for Sanskrit was 0.4, but both Hindi and Sanskrit was 0.1. So only Sanskrit was 0.4 minus 0.1 is equal to 0.3. So number of students opted for only Sanskrit is 0.3. Now, number of students opted for Hindi was 0.2. So the total number was 0.2. But there are students 0.1 who has opted for both Sanskrit and Hindi. So if I deduct it, I will get number of students opted for only Hindi. This is only Hindi. This is only Sanskrit. So if I have to find out the probability, how would I find out? I'll simply write 0.3 plus 0.1 plus 0.1. This is the probability of each and every students. So if I add it, I will get 0.5 is the probability of getting a student or selecting a student randomly who has opted for either Sanskrit or Hindi. Who has opted for either Sanskrit or Hindi. I hope now this is clear to each and everyone. How we are solving questions through Venn diagram. First thing, we need to understand how many students opted for each chapter. Then we have to deduct this because this is common in both cases. So then only we'll get only Sanskrit and only Hindi students, and then we'll find out our probability. Now, in this question it is written the probability of students passing in both physics and chemistry, both physics plus chemistry. What is the probability? It is 0.5. The probability of passing neither, so failing the exam, is 0.2. The probability of passing physics paper is equal to 0.65. what is the probability of passing chemistry paper? So what is asked? What is the probability of passing chemistry paper? Now see. So this is a school of student in which student passed in physics, student passed in chemistry. And all these students, these left students are failed students, right? Okay. So if I'll think the probability of the whole school or the whole class is 1, and if I say the probability of students passed any examination, whether they have passed both the papers or any one paper, I can write it will be probability will be 1 minus probability will be 1 minus 0.2, that is number of students passed the examination is 0.8. The concepts I am clearing. There is a different way to solve this question, but I am telling you how many students, total number of students or the probability of students they pass the examination is 0.8. Okay. Now with this, let's understand one thing. What we'll understand? That physics plus chemistry, total number of students who has clear physics plus chemistry, that means these students, the students who has clear both physics plus chemistry is 0.5. Now total number of the probability of total probability of students clear physics is 0.65. This means this whole thing is 0.65, and out of this whole thing, this thing is 0.5. So only physics is what? 0.65 minus 0.5 is equal to 0.15. So only physics pass students are 0.15 in nature. Now what is given? It is given that I have to find out number of students passed in chemistry, number of students passing chemistry. Now the thing is, in this particular case, we find out what? We find out the number of students, passed the whole examination. So passed student will be only physics plus only chemistry plus both physics and chemistry. So if I solve it, past question is 0.8. If I solve it, only physics, how many students? 0.15. Only chemistry is still unknown to us. Both physics and chemistry 0.5. So this will be only chemistry is equal to 0.8 minus 0.15 plus 0.5 is equal to 0.65. So my answer will be 0.15. Here the question is asked that what is the probability of passing chemistry paper. It is not mentioned only passing or anything else. So you will find out this particular part is 0.15, but total chemistry passing will be 0.5 plus 0.15, that is 0.65. So this is the probability of passing chemistry paper. I hope this is clear to each and every one of you now. I hope this is clear. Okay. If you are still unable to process this whole thing, pause this video, go back and understand it, because these are the basics of Venn diagram questions. Okay. Now the next question. Two friends, Saroj and Mohesh, appeared in SSC CGL examination. The probability of Saroj will qualify the examination is 0.08. Saroj will qualify 0.08. Mahesh will qualify 0.12. Probability of both will qualify 0.03. So if I draw a diagram, this is Saroj, this is Mahesh, this is both Saroj and Mahesh, is 0.03. Now Saroj is 0.08. So this whole thing is 0.08, and out of this whole thing, this part is 0.03. So only Saroj will be 0.08 minus 0.03, that is 0.05. Same for Mahesh, the whole thing is 0.12. If I deduct this part, I will get only this part. So this will be 0.09. Now What is it is asked that the probability that both will not qualify the examination. Now, both will fail is equal to 1 minus only Saroj will pass plus only Mahesh will pass plus both will pass. If I do this calculation, I will find out both will fail. Okay. Now 1 minus only Saroj, that is 0.5. Only Mahesh, that is 0.09. Both will pass 0.03. I can write it as 0.5 plus 0.9, 0.14 plus 0.03 is equal to 0.17. So if I solve this, I will get 0.83 as my answer. That 0.83 is the probability of both Saroj and Mahesh, they will not qualify for the examination. They will both not qualify for the examination. This is how different types of, here there are two variables. You may get 3 variables question, 4 variable question. This is how you will be calculating these things, these whole things. Okay. Now, this is a homework. Just remember, at least one of them will not qualify is equal to 1 minus both will qualify. If both are attempting the paper, okay, this is where both will pass. So if I say, if I exclude this particular thing, that means in this case Saroj will fail, so at least one is failing. In this particular case Mahesh is failing, and in the whole part, out of this whole particular thing, both will fail, right? So if I have to find out at least one of them will not qualify, that means what I have to do, 1 minus both will qualify. So you have to find out the answer, that is 1 minus both are qualifying through 0.03, that is 0.97 is the answer, that both will fail the examination. At least one of them will fail the examination. Okay. This is how you will be solving Venn diagram question. I have already solved it. Now, truth concept. This is very simple. You just need to remember one thing. The probability of contradicting each other is equal to first person speaking truth, probability of first person speaking truth multiplied by probability of second person speaking false plus probability of first person speaking false into probability of second person speaking truth. You just need to remember this. If you remember this, you will be easily able to solve this question. So in this question, Shivam speaks truth 5 out of 7 times. This is the truth. So how many times he lies? He lies 1 minus 5 by 7, that is 2 by 7 times. Rasmi speaks truth 8 out of 9 times. So how many times she lies? 1 minus 8 by 9 times, that is 1 by 9 times she lies. So if I have to find out the probability of they contradicting each other, that means Shivam telling the truth and Rasmi contradict, means one will say something in the for and there will say something against. So if someone is saying the truth, then the other person will lie, right? So if Shivam is telling the truth, Rasmi will lie, or in the next case, Shivam will lie and Rasmi will tell the truth. If I find out this answer, this will be 21. 16 plus 5 equal to 21 by 63. That is 1 by 3 is the probability that they will contradict each other. This is how you should be solving contradictory, probability of contradicting each other in stating fact questions. Just remember this thing, that one person will always say truth, the second will lie. In the second scenario, The first person will lie and the second person will tell the truth. If this is three questions, if there are three persons, what will happen? First person will say the truth, then the second and third will lie. In the second scenario, first person will lie, second will tell the truth, third will lie. In the third scenario, first and second person will tell lie, third person will tell the truth. This is how contradicting each other will, the probability of finding contradicting each other will be solved. Okay. Now, here, it has just twisted the question. How it has twisted the question? Shivam speaks 60% times truth. That means 60 out of 100. That means 3 by 5 times it tells the truth. So it tells lies in 1 minus 3 by 5 times. That is 2 by 5 times. Now, Rasmi speak 75% truth. That means 75 out of 100 times she says truth. So it will be 3 by 4 times the truth. Now, how many times she will lie? 1 minus 3 by 4 is equal to 1 by 4. So this is the lie. Now, you use the formula, then we'll get the answer of this question. Now, this is very interesting question, and you need to understand, whenever problem will be solved comes, it will be 1 minus problem cannot be solved. 1 minus problem cannot be solved. See, Sheetal is solving the problem. The probability of Sheetal solving the problem is 3 over 5. Probability of Sheetal not solving the problem will be 1 minus 3 by 5, that is 2 by 5. 5 will come here, 5 minus 3 is equal to 2, 2 by 5. Now, Priyanka will solve a problem by 2 by 7 times. So, not solving the problem by Priyanka will be 1 minus 2 by 7. So, this will be 7 minus 2 by 7 equal to 5 by 7. Same goes for Raj. Raj is solving a problem. Probability of Raj solving a problem is 1 by 8. So, probability of Raj not solving the problem will be 1 minus 1 by 8 is equal to 8 minus 1 by 8 is equal to 7 by 8. What I told you in this question, we have to do what? 1 minus probability of questions, probability of problem not being solved. So for Sheetal it was 2 by 5, for Priyanka it was 5 by 7, for Raj it was 7 by 8. If I solve it, I will find out 1 minus 2 by 8 is equal to 8 minus 2 by 8 is equal to 6 by 8, or I can write it as 3 by 4. So 3 by 4 is the probability that this problem will be solved by 3 friends working together. By 3 friends. So you have to remember this formula. So this is the formula you need to remember. You will always be doing, you will always be finding out how the problems will be not solved. Then you have to multiply all these things, and then you have to deduct it from 1. Okay. Now, Sunil and Manoj appeared in the examination. The probability of Sunil's selection is this, and probability of Manoj's selection is this. Sunil will selected 3 by 4 times. Manoj will selected 2 by 5 times. What is the probability that only one will get selected? See, when it is asked only one will get selected, the scenario will be like this. First person selected, so second person failed, or first person failed, then the second person selected, because this is how only one will get selected, right? So if Sunil is getting selected 3 by 4 times, Sunil will not get selected. The probability of Sunil is not getting selected will be 1 minus 3 by 4, that is 1 by 4. Same, if Manoj is getting selected, the probability of Manoj is getting selected is 2 by 5. The probability of Manoj not getting selected will be 1 minus 2 by 5, that is 3 by 5. Now, I have all the options. Now, what will happen? First person will get selected, that is 3 by 4. Multiply by second person will fail, that is 3 by 5. Plus first person will fail, that is Sunil is not getting selected. Probability is 1 by 4. Second person will get selected, that is 2 by 5. If I solve it, 3 into 3 is equal to 9, 4 by 5 20, plus 2 by 20 is equal to 11 by 20. This is the answer. What is the probability of that? One of them will get selected. Okay, so this is how you will be solving questions like this. Now, here, what happens? C1 tells truth 5 by 7 times. If he throws a coin and reports it is head, if C1 throws a coin, the probability of head coming will be 1 by 2, because there are two outcomes, either head or tail, and the probability of getting head will be 1 by 2. Now Shivam speaks truth how many times? Shivam speaks truth 5 by 7 times. You need to understand this, you need to remember this. Shivam is telling truth 5 by 7 times, that means Shivam lies 1 minus 5 by 7 times. 7 times, that is 2 by 7 times Shivam lies. Actually Shivam lies. Now if you have to find out the probability that it is actually head, how do you do that? So first thing is probability of contradiction. Why? Because that is the total number of outcome, if Shivam lies or if Shivam speaks the truth. So the probability of contradiction will be Shivam speaking truth multiplied by, we are getting the head, plus Shivam speaking lie multiplied by, we are getting tail. So if I not getting head, that means tail is equal to 1 by 2. So this will be the answer. 5 by 14 plus 2 by 14 is equal to 7 by 14 is equal to 1 by 2. 1 by 2 is the probability of contradiction. This is equal to number of total outcome, total possible outcome. Now what it is saying, we have to find out how many times Shivam will tell the truth that the coin is a head. So that can be written as 5 by 7 the truth into getting head, that is 5 by 14. Now the probability of whole thing, this is a desired outcome. So the probability will be desired outcome divided by total possible outcome, or I can write it 5 by 14 into 2 by 1, or 5 by 7 is the probability that Shivam is speaking the truth. So this is how you will be solving the question. Okay, I hope this is clear. You need to find out the probability of contradiction first in order to find out number of total possible outcomes. Then you need to find out the desired outcome, and then you can directly calculate the probability. This is a homework to you. You can solve it and let me know the answer in the comment. Now the last concept that we'll be solving, the second last, binomial probability. So in binomial probability, what happens? This is the probability of something happening, but you need to remember this. Here n is equal to total number of trial, x is equal to number of successful trials, p is equal to probability of success, q is equal to probability of failure. Just remember this formula. I will help you understand this while solving a question. Now see, a coin tossed 10 times. How many times the coin was tossed? N is equal to 10 times. What is the probability of getting exactly 6 heads? What is the probability of getting exactly 6 heads? So here x is equal to 6. N is what? Total number of trials. Getting 6 heads. So the success is 6 times. Okay. Now probability of getting a head, if we toss a coin once, the probability of getting a head will be 1 by 2. Probability of not getting a head will be 1 minus 1 by 2, that is 1 by 2 again. So if I use binomial probability theorem, it will be NCX multiplied by P to the power X multiplied by Q to the power N minus X. So N is equal to 10, C is equal to C combination, X is equal to 6, P 1 by 2 to the power X 6, Q 1 by 2 to the power N minus 6, 10 minus 6. 10C will be 10 factorial divided by 10 minus 6 factorial into 6 factorial, 1 by 2 to the power 6 into 1 by 2 to the power 4. Now 10 factorial can be written as 10 factorial, 4 factorial into 6 factorial into 1 by 2 to the power 6 plus 4 is equal to 10. Or I can write it as 10 factorials can be written as 6 factorial into 7 into 8 into 9 into 10 divided by 6 factorial multiplied by 4 into 3 into 2 into 1. 6 will cross out, 4 2 will cross out, 3 will be there, 7 into 3 into 10 is equal to 210 multiplied by 1 by 2 to the power. So this will be the answer of this question. You just need to remember this formula. Then you need to use the value and solve the question and you will get your answer. Let's see another question. The probability that a person can achieve a target is 3 by 4. The probability of success is 3 by 4. The count of try is 5. Number of trial is 5. What is the probability that he will attain the target at least thrice? So how many successful attempts should be there? 3. Now probability of success is 3 by 4. So probability of failure will be 1 minus 3 by 4. That is 4 minus 3 by 4 is equal to 1 by 4. So if I use the formula NCX P to the power X Q to the power N minus X here, I will get N is equal to 5 combination 3 multiplied by 3 by 4 to the power 3 multiplied by 1 by 4 to the power 5 minus 3. So this will be 5 factorial divided by 5 minus 3 factorial into 3 factorial multiplied by 3 by 4 to the power cube into 1 to the power 4 to the power square. So if I solve it, I will get this will be the answer of this particular question, and this is how binomial probability is being calculated. You need to understand what is being asked. He will attain the target at least thrice, means the successful attempts will be this. The total attempts will be this. Probability of success is this. Probability of failure is this. Just simply use this formula and you will get your answer. Okay. Now, here, a coin that is fair in nature is tossed n number of times. Probability of occurrence of head 6 times is same as probability of head comes 8 times. So probability of head is 1 by 2. Probability of not getting head also 1 by 2. So I can write NC6 x in the place of x, it is 6. 1 by 2 to the power 6 into 1 by 2 to the power n minus 6 is equal to NC8. Here the formula is NCX P to the power x, probability of not getting success n minus x. So here it will be 1 by 2 to the power 8 into 1 by 2 to the power n minus 8. Now see, if I divide this whole thing, NCX is equal to NC8 1 by 2 to the power 8 into 1 by 2 to the power n minus 8 divided by 1 by 2 to the power 6 into 1 by 2 to the power n minus 6. It will come like this. NC8 is equal to 1 by 2, 8, this will go up minus 6 multiplied by 1 by 2, n minus 8 minus n minus 6. So this will come as 1 by 2, 8 minus 6 equal to 2 into 1 by 2 n minus 8. This bracket will open up, n plus 6. So n will cross out. This will be nc8 1 by 2 to the power 2 into 1 by 2 to the power minus 2. We know if something is like this, a to the power x or a to the power 1 by x, I can write a to the power x into 1 by a to the power x. This will cross out and I will get answer 1. So this both thing will cross out and I will get answer nc8. Now my left hand side was what? nc6 is equal to nc8, and from the permutation combination formula I know if this type of scenario happens, then if ncx is equal to ncy, then x plus y is equal to n, right? So here 6 plus 8 is equal to n, that is 14 is equal to n. So what is the value of n here? See, many of you will feel like this is very tough, we can't solve this question, but this was a very simple question. You can solve this question in a minute. You just need to understand the concept, then you need to utilize it. Okay? Now, the last question, the last concept. See, the probability that a leap year will have 53 Sundays. First thing you need to understand, a leap year has 366 days. As we know, in a year we'll get 52 weeks, that will lead to 364 days. So you will be left with 2 days, right? If you want, and in this 52 weeks, you will have 52 Sundays. So these 2 days, what is the possibility of getting these 2 days? So these 2 days can only be possible. These 2 days can only be possible if the 650th or 366th days are like this: Saturday, Sunday, or Sunday, Monday, or it can be Monday, Tuesday, or Tuesday, Wednesday, or Wednesday, Thursday, or Thursday, Friday, or Friday, Saturday. So we know there are 52 Sundays. Now the 365th and 366th then can be this way: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There are 7 possibilities available that the 365th or the 366th then can be in this way. So my total number of possible outcome is what? 7. But my desired outcome is I should have one more Sunday. So one more Sunday is possible where? In this case and in this case. So my desired outcome is 2. So if I have to calculate probability of 53 Sundays, it will be 2 divided by 7. 2 is my desired outcome, that in these cases Sunday will come, and these are the cases in which 365th and 366th date will come. So this is how we will be solving the question. Now if it is asked 52 Sundays, that means I should not consider these two questions, these two options. So my probability should be what? 7 is the total outcome and my desired outcomes are 5. So 5 by 7 is my total probability of 52 Sundays in a leap year. This is how we should be solving questions if this type of questions are. Guys, with this we have completed our permutation combination and probability lecture. I hope you do not have any doubts regarding this. Whenever you feel a doubt, I will be sharing a timestamp. You go through that timestamp, use this lecture to your optimum value and solve this question and answer it in the comment. If you like our lectures, do let us know your feedback. Share this with your friends, subscribe to our channel and join our SSC Monk official Telegram channel for more updates and for more materials like this. Thank you guys.